right now we have about 3 minutes before we formally start. So I would like to go over the agenda. So very good afternoon, everybody. To PS or Technologist Dr. Muhammad bin Sulaiman, Deputy Director General for Development in the Department of Skills Development, Ministry of Human Resources. TS Dr. IR Azmi Ahmad, Deputy Director of Youth Skills Development Division, Ministry of Youth and Sports, who has kindly shared a video message with us as he is unable to be here in person, but we have a lot of representatives from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Ms. Panada Bunpala, Deputy Regional Director of the International Labour Organization in the Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, ILO. Representatives from the British High Commission, Kuala Lumpur, my good friend Hana, Brother Effendi, I just hope that he is here. So President of the Malaysian Trade Union Congress, Mr. Zakri from the Malaysian Employers Federation, Technical Vocational Education and Training and Skills Training Institutional Leaders, distinguished guests. I am Shaza On, Senior Project Officer at the Skills for Prosperity Program in Malaysia. I will be your MC for today. It is our great pleasure to welcome you to the first online information sharing session of the first Malaysia Skills Innovation Challenge called Mainstreaming Gender Equality and Social Inclusion at TVET and Skills Training Institutions. On behalf of the ILO and our co-organizers, the Department of Skills Development under the Ministry of Human Resources and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, as well as the British High Commission Kuala Lumpur, I would like to extend a warm welcome to everybody. So I'll put your attention to the screen. Basically, over the next 45 minutes at this e-town hall launch, we will meet with the co-organizing national partners and ILO colleagues who all play a pivotal role in making this Malaysia's very first and exciting gender equality and social inclusion challenge call. We will have a short break and then resume with a proposal development workshop hosted by facilitators from 4 p.m. until 5:45 p.m. For today's town hall, we will begin with opening remarks from TS Dr. Muhammad from Department of Skills Development, and then this will be followed by a video message from TS Dr. IR Azmi Ahmad from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and then of course we will have Ms. Panada Bunpala, Deputy Regional Director of the ILO. Right after the opening remarks, I just want to flag everybody that we will have a photo shoot, so everyone should open their videos during that time. I will prompt you, don't worry. Following this, we will have an overview of the Skills for Prosperity program in Malaysia by Dr. Junichi Mori, the Chief Technical Advisor of the SFP program ILO. It will then be my turn, so I'm double hatting here as both the presenter as well as the MC, where I will present some information on the JESI Challenge call and moderate questions and answer session together with Dr. Muhammad and Dr. Junichi. So please put up your questions on the chat box or raise your hand during the Q&A session. And then to end, we will have a close with an address from Dr. Akiko Sakamoto, Regional Skills and Employability Specialist, ILO Decent Work Technical Support Teams for East and Southeast Asia and the Pacific. So now, without further ado, it's already 3:01. I would like to call upon TS Dr. Muhammad bin Sulaiman, Deputy Director General of Development in the Department of Skills Development of the Ministry of Human Resources, to provide his opening remarks. Doctor, are you ready?
Okay, thank you, Sada.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. Miss Panuda Bumpala, Deputy Regional Director, International Labour Organization, Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific. Technologist Dr. IR Azmi Ahmad, Deputy Director, Youth Skill Development Division, Ministry of Youth and Sport. Dr. Akiko Sakamoto, Regional Skill and Employability Specialist, ILO Decent Work Technical Support Team, DWT for East and Southeast Asia and the Pacific, ILO. Dr. Junichi Mori, Chief Technical Advisor, Skills for Prosperity Program in Malaysia, ILO, distinguished guests and participants. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a great honor and pleasure for me to welcome all of you to the E-Town Hall and Proposal Development Workshop for the first Malaysia Gender Equality and Social Inclusion, or GESI, Skill Challenge Innovation Call. Our sincere appreciation to the International Labour Organization, ILO, and the British High Commissioner Kuala Lumpur for introducing the first Malaysia Skill Challenge Innovation Call, mainstreaming gender equality and social inclusion, GESI in TVET, or Skills Training Institution. This challenge call is under the International Labour Organization Skills for Prosperity Southeast Asia Program, Malaysia, which aims to assist public and non-profit skills and technicals and vocational education and training institutions in developing and implementing innovative solutions that promote gender equality and social inclusion in training program and organization. In general, the ILO Skills for Prosperity program aims to improve Malaysia's capacity to achieve sustainable and inclusive growth through the enhancement of skill development and technical and vocational education and training, or in short, TVET systems. The Department of Skill Development, DSD, under the Ministry of Human Resources Malaysia, MOHR, is a co-organizer of this program and fully support this event. As one of MOHR vision is to develop competent, productive, responsive, and resilient human capital in the labor market to increase the national productivity. The target group of skill development programs under the ministry is inclusive for all groups, regardless of gender and social status. We aim to ensure accessibility to skills training inclusive of the diverse and marginalized population. We hope that this program will give a significant contribution in improving gender equality and social inclusion in line with the Sustainable Development Goals and 12th Malaysia Plan. This first Malaysia Skills Challenge Innovation Call is open for participation to all public TVET and skill training institutions all over Malaysia, including non-profit organizations. I really hope that this e-town hall meetings and proposal development workshop will benefit potential participants to formulate innovative ideas and develop comprehensive proposal for this challenge. I strongly encourage our TVET institution to join this program and fully support gender equality and social inclusion in TVET. I believe that our TVET and skill training institution have implemented various sustainable programs and initiatives to support different group of people to ensure accessibility to affordable and quality technical and vocational education and training. The winners will the most innovative, concrete, and sustainable proposals will receive some incentive for pilot implementation of their solutions and will join the ILO Global Skill Innovation Network. But last but not least, I would like to iterate that our support toward this first Malaysia Skill Challenge Innovation Call, in view of its importance in promoting accessibility in technical and vocational education and training. Once again, I would like to express my sincere thanks to everyone for their excellent contribution to the success of this program. I hope today's town hall and workshop will pave the way to the success of competition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, TS Dr. Muhammad. It's really wonderful to hear that we are aligned on gender equality and social inclusion. And thank you for the support of the Department of Skills Development and the Ministry of Human Resources. We would like now to show the video from TS Dr. IR Azmi Ahmad, Deputy Director of Skills, Youth Skills Development Division, Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good evening. First of all, I'm pleased to convey my words in this e-town hall on gender equality and social inclusion, JESI, in TVET Skill Training Institution. Thank you to TS Dr. Muhammad bin Sulaiman, Deputy Director General Development, Department of Skill Development, Ministry of Human Resources, Mr. Panada Bunpala, Deputy Regional Director, International Level Organization, Dr. Akiko Sakamoto, Regional Skill and Employability Specialist, ILO, my dear friend Dr. Junity Mori, Chief Technical Advisor, Ski for Prosperity Program in Malaysia, ILO. Dear all, first of all, on behalf of Ministry of Youth and Sport, known as MOYS, I would like to thank the ILO for inviting MOYS together to be part of this program as one of the national partner for the gender equality and social inclusion, known as JC. Challenge call with this skill prosperity program in Malaysia. I think, as we all know, this is going to be the first Malaysian skill challenge innovation call that's gathered towards mainstreaming JC in TVET Skill Training Institution. Hashtag MyJC is a platform to search for TVET Skill Training Institution which develop and implement innovative approaches and solutions that promote equality and diversity in its organization and training programs. JC Challenge Call will help us basically to recognize, enhance, engage and accelerate the mainstreaming effort toward innovative solutions that promote equality and diversity of TVETs in Malaysia. In addition, there are a few innovative solutions from TVET institution related to the TVET life cycle, which that can be derived, uncovered through the JC Challenge Call. First of all, we can improve the accessibility of programs for vulnerable groups and promote policy that reduce possibility of so-called dropouts, or we can term as missing in action MIA student throughout the training programs duration. Secondly, integrate JC into existing towards new TVET skill training programs by introducing universal design approaches for the training program. Thirdly, enhance inclusiveness assessment method, a set of mechanisms for formal skill recognition for the vulnerable person or group. Fourthly, strengthening career and vocational guidance services and establish partnership to facilitate support for the vulnerable group going into work, so-called the transition towards workplace. We pledge a full support to the JC Challenge through the following activities: promoting the JC Challenge Call to TVET Skill Training Institution, co-branding the JC Challenge Call, involving representatives such as judges in the Secretariat Working Committee, participating in the Evaluation Committee, mentoring participants during implementation, and of course, participating in the Global ILO Skill Innovation Network as a whole. On behalf of MOYS, we would like to thank the ILO for organizing this program that co-funded by British High Commissioner in order to achieve the target in seeking innovative solutions from various TVET skill institutions in Malaysia. With that related to the TVET life cycle enhancement and progressment. Best to all. Thank you very much for time that spent listening to the words of mine. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. IRSB and colleagues from Ministry of Youth and Sports for the support, and really want to reiterate the call for everyone to join this challenge call. Last but not least, we have Ms. Panada Bunpala, Deputy Regional Director of the International Labour Organization Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, coming all the way from Bangkok. So over to you, Kun Panada.
Thank you very much. TS Dr. Mohammed bin Sulaiman, Deputy Director General, Development, Department of Skills Development, Ministry of Human Resources. TS Dr. Asmi Hamad, Deputy Director of Skills, Youth Skills Development Division, Ministry of Youth and Sports. Brother Effendi Abdul Ghani, President, Malaysian Trade Unions Congress. Mr. Muhammad Sagri Baharuddin, Senior Manager, Employers Affairs, Malaysian Employers Federation, colleagues representing the British High Commission Kuala Lumpur, distinguished participants, greetings from Bangkok. I hope that in the future I also could join you on site in Malaysia. On behalf of the ILO, I'd like to thank all of you for your participation in the e-town hall meeting for the first Malaysia Challenge Innovation Call today. I also would like to thank the Department of Skill Development under the Ministry of Human Resources and the Ministry of Youth and Sports for co-hosting this event with the ILO. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome TVET and training institutes who have shown your interest in participating in this challenge call. This call aims to assist your institutions to implement innovative, practical, and sustainable approaches and solutions that promote equality and diversity. Distinguished participants, this challenge call is timely and relevant for many reasons. As we are finally moving to the endemic stage of the COVID-19, promoting gender equality and social inclusion in TVET and skills training can help us better achieve a human-centered recovery and inclusive growth. The enhancement of gender equality and social inclusion in TVET and skills will contribute to achieving the objective of the 12th Malaysian Plan 2021 to 2025, with the objective of a prosperous, inclusive, sustainable Malaysia. Moreover, in December last year, in the ILO, the International Labour Conference adopted a call for increased action on inequalities and skills. This is intended to assist ILO member states to accelerate action to reduce and prevent inequalities in the world of work and ensure that no one is left behind. The diversities of talents brought by gender equality and social inclusion will promote innovation and enhance productivity for further growth. This will also accelerate the utilization of digital technologies and enable TVET to fulfill its role as a game changer for improving the TVET ecosystem to produce future-ready talent. Distinguished guests, we fully appreciate the Government of Malaysia, employers and employees, and who have made significant efforts to promote gender equality and social inclusion. This made access to TVET and skill training more equitable. However, this is a time to move forward by ensuring that training programs and trade selections are more gender equal and inclusive. Training programs can be provided in more flexible and innovative ways to accommodate the needs of people in vulnerable groups. The International Labour Organization is collaborating with Malaysian partners to take on this endeavour through the ILO UK Skills for Prosperity program in Malaysia. Under the equity pillars of this program, it is piloting training programs in the construction and food processing industries, both at national and state levels. We will further strengthen our efforts through the Skills Challenge Innovation Call launched today. Finally, the ILO is increasing its support in skills and TVET globally. We have started discussions in June this year on quality apprenticeships with a view to setting an international standard in 2023. I'd like to express my gratitude to the program partners for your continued cooperation and contribution. I also would like to thank the British High Commission in Kuala Lumpur for their continued support for this program. Thank you all for your participation in this e-town hall and the following workshop that will provide applicants with orientation about this challenge call. Terima kasih. Thank you so much. I wish you a very nice afternoon. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih, Kun Panada. With this, we will now move on to the photo taking session. So I would like to ask all participants, please turn on your videos so that we can take a photo together. There's a lot of us, so it might take us a little bit of time. So I'm going to count everyone in. Has everyone turned on their videos? All right, okay, I'm gonna count and then we will have to take a few screenshots. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, keep smiling because we're gonna take a few more shots. So Emilia, just let us know when you're done.
Dr. Muhammad, I'm just wondering if Dr. Muhammad, his forehead has become blue sikit.
Oh,
Can you go
is the screen
closer
kena
to the
dekat sikit
camera,
Dr.
sir?
Muhammad sebab the background tu kalau boleh take off your background kot, kalau tak nanti it will look blue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm adjusting the background.
Thank you.
Macam X-Men suddenly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jasmine.
And everybody else, senyum, jangan segan
Yeah.
ya, everybody.
Okay.
Yes,
Cik
great.
Helmi.
Okay, thank you.
Turn
All
on
right.
your video. We would love to see your faces. Encik Sompong, apa khabar?
Okay, now it's okay already.
Perfect. It's
Okay,
perfect. Thank
wonderful.
you.
Everybody else, we will give you countdown, 10 until 10, 10, 9. Keep on smiling. 8, 7. They say in Malay, ikan bilis. 6, 5, 4 in English, cheese.
Cheese.
Pose. In Japanese, I'm not sure, or in Thai, what do they say?
Cheese. All right. Emilia, you've got it?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. So thank you, everyone, for keeping a smile. I hope we will stay on throughout the duration. So without further ado, I'd like to now invite Dr. Junichi Mori, the Chief Technical Advisor for the Skills for Prosperity Program in Malaysia, International Labour Organization, to share about the Skills for Prosperity Program.
Okay, thank you very much, Shazab. So I hope you can hear me, and then just in case, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad, and then all the distinguished participants. Thank you very much. So nama saya Junichi Mori. So selamat datang. Selamat datang saya ucapkan. Saya sangat menghargai kehadiran Anda semua. So welcome, and then thank you for participation from all over the Malaysia. So please let me present the overview of Skills for Prosperity Program Malaysia very briefly within 10 minutes. So here's the context of the Malaysian skills and TVET system. All of you are experts, so I don't really need to explain this. But Malaysia is considered a good model of TVET in the region. And for example, even I worked in other country, and then I sometimes brought my colleague to the Malaysia as a study tour. However, there are still remaining challenges in terms of the quality, relevance, and then the equity. Equity is the main topic of today's event. So that's why we started this Skills for Prosperity program in Malaysia. The program aims to increasing national capacity for inclusive economic growth through more future-ready Tibetan skills training system and then promotion of the equality and diversity. Our program tries to assist our national partner to implement the key policies, including the 12th Malaysia Plan. So our program have two characteristics. First, we try to address both skills and skills supply and then demand side. And then also, we adapt a sectoral approach for skills development. So we focus mainly on construction and the food processing sector, and then try to reduce skills mismatch. So here's a very brief background of our program. So many of our key partners are here. Thanks for the Minister of Human Resources, Minister of Malaysia Employer Federation, Malaysia Trade Union Congress, and then thank you very much for Minister of Youth and Sports and then other partners. So our beneficiaries are youth and women, and then our program is funded by the United Kingdom government. I want to emphasize that our program is under the broader cooperation agreement with a tripartite partner in Malaysia, which is called Decent Work Country Program. So let me explain a little bit more about our program. So our program has three pillars. First is about the equity. In the equity pillars, we try to enhance the inclusiveness of the skills and TVET system in Malaysia. For example, we co-organize the online seminar for the gender equality, social inclusion mainstreaming in the Tibetan skills training together with the Department of Skills Development and the HRD Corp in this year, June. So we are also implementing the pilot training program in Sabah and Kedah. So second pillar is about the quality. In this pillar, we try to assist our national partner to enhance the future readiness of the skills and TVET system and then improve the quality and the equity of the Tibetan skills training program. Third pillar is about the relevance to industry skills needs. So we try to promote industry-led skills and TVET skills development because Malaysia is becoming a higher income economy. Although government will still play a very important role for TVET, industry leadership is very important. For example, currently we are running the pilot apprenticeship program together with the Master Builders Association Malaysia, but also getting a support from the Minister of Human Resources, DSD, and then also Malaysian Employer Federation. So let me very quickly go through the overview of our program, linkage of output. First, we try to mainstreaming gender equality and social inclusion throughout our program. Then we are assisting our national partner to improving the skills demand and supply information. For this, we are working with the Economic Planning Unit and the Department of Statistics Malaysia because they are leading the important initiative called the Labor Market Information Analytic Platform. We are also working with the Talent Corp, who is leading the development of the National Skills Registry. Based on the improved information, we are assisting our national partner to develop sector skills strategy, which indicate the growth driver and then specific needs for the occupation currently and then in the future. Then we also try to enhance the industry-led skills coordination mechanism. For this, again, we are working with the DSD, MEF, MBM, and the Federation of the Malaysian Manufacturers. Then this should lead to the improvement of the quality and equity of the skills and Tibetan skills training program. For this, we are working with the Sabah Skills and Technology Center, Kedah Industrial Skills and Management Center, and then again, MBM, DSD, and then FMM Institute. And then the sector skills strategy should stimulate skills demand, and then also based on this, supply of the skilled workers who meet both current and future demand should increase. We are also working on a future readiness by promoting the STEM-related generic skills in Tibet, and then also development of the digital skills, and then also promoting the upskilling aspiration of the workers through the enhanced work-based learning and then lifelong learning and so on. Then we hope all of these outputs will contribute to inclusive skills and then economic development in Malaysia. I'd like to highlight what today's Skills Innovation Challenge Call or MOYS will contribute to our output by highlighting by red color.
Junichi, we have about 2 minutes just to flag.
Okay. Yeah. So then we are working with our partners here. So here's our program strategic approach. So we have a 5-program strategic approach, but I'd like to particularly highlight mainstreaming of the gender equality and then social inclusion and then localized model. So for the gender equality and social inclusion, actually the Malaysia is TVET is becoming more equal and then inclusive, but there is still unconscious bias about the industrial sector, occupation, trade, and also course selection. However, some people may say like a construction job are more suitable for male worker, but in our pilot program for quality apprenticeship in the construction sector, for example, we have a very motivated female trainee who want to be a site safety supervisor. In our pilot training in the Sabah, our group of the trainees who include a student are working for the solution for IoT and digital technology for SMEs. And then this is from my other country's experience. But as a former graduate from the TVET institution, which I used to work for, are working as a skilled operator of the computer numeric control machine. So we really hope through this JC challenge call or my JC, I would like to create innovative, practical, and then tangible solution to deal with this unconscious bias. So also, we hope that pilot programs supported by our challenge call will be replicable, scalable, and then sustainable. So it should be upgraded and also replicated in other occupational skills and the industrial sector. So I really want to work together with all of you today to unleash the potential of the diverse talent together. So thank you very much, Terima kasih, and I hope we'll have a fruitful discussion today.
Thank you very much, Junichi. So I want, and you have a few fans here. Everyone is saying hello to you and even konnichiwa, just to flag that. I want to make mention here that we have T.S. Kamaruzaman, Deputy Director General of Operations, who just joined the town hall today. So welcome. Would you like to say hello, T.S. Kamaruzaman?
Thank you very much for acknowledging my existence.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
Forward on this fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, T.S. Kamaruzaman. Okay, so now without further ado, I think I will just start with a presentation about the challenge call. So I will share my screen now. Can I just check everybody can see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, so here's my presentation on the first Malaysia Skills Challenge Innovation Call. This will be extremely relevant for participants for today who would like to join the challenge call. And I would like to reiterate that please submit your proposal for this challenge call. And don't worry, we will give you the support needed to submit your proposal. So the challenge call is actually part of a global ILO Skills Innovation Challenge calls. And in the region itself, we have had a challenge call in Cambodia. And what we try to do here is we look for solutions from the crowd, we prototype the idea. So it's not just putting it on paper, but actually trying out the idea on the ground. And from there, when we have a network of people who have actually done the solutions for all sorts of skills challenges, we have a global network of innovators. For the JESI challenge call overview, like in Malaysia itself, I would say that actually gender equality and social inclusion mainstreaming is the first for our challenge calls. In the past, it has been more on other types of skills challenges like green challenges and so forth. For Malaysia, we are first in terms of gender equality and social inclusion. So who are we targeting? We are looking at 50 public and non-profit TVET skills training institutions. And we want to select 5 winners. The partners, of course, Ministry of Human Resources and department under the Department of Skills Development and Ministry of Youth and Sports. What do we want to do? We want to recognize training institutions who are doing great work in gender equality and social inclusion. We want to enhance everyone's ability to mainstream gender equality and social inclusion through practical solutions, and create partnerships through a participatory approach with TVET, skills institutions, government, industry, and so forth. And for us all to learn as much as possible through the implementation of these solutions. What kind of solutions are we actually looking for when we talk about mainstreaming gender equality and social inclusion, or GESI for short? First of all, we talk about the TVET life cycle. At the very beginning in Malaysia, we have this TVET skills program, Access and Choice. This is not quite a challenge in Malaysia, but there are still certain barriers. So for example, accessibility of programs for vulnerable groups. Just think about persons with disabilities, if they can join level 2 SKM programs, for example. Is it difficult for them? That is one solution. If you have a solution for that, that's something that we are looking for. Another part of it is the attendance, learning material, and methodology. So how you train your students, whether or not you want to upgrade the way you train some of your students who are different learners. How can you increase the attendance of certain people who actually have difficulties with time constraints by having maybe flexible training programs. For assessment and certification, it's about enhancing the methods and mechanisms for formal skills recognition. Sorry, may I ask if all participants could mute themselves? All right, thank you so much, Jasmine. So the third method is on the assessment and certification, about how you assess or do examinations, and then a lot of programs use competency-based models. So how do you assess in a way that's inclusive? And then finally, how can you support transitions to work through career guidance? Is it going to be through making sure that the transition to work is safe for female graduates and so forth? So these are the types of solutions we are looking for. And if you are not sure about how to actually think about the solutions, we actually have tools for your proposal development. The ILO has a self-assessment tool. You can see the link here, and we will share these slides after the workshop and so forth. And there you can identify where you are in terms of inclusion, and you can even read our guide on making TVET and skills development inclusive for all as a way to look at ideas for gender equality and social inclusion mainstreaming. So the town call tentative timeline, today we are having our town hall and our workshops. Then we will have round 1 where applicants will submit an application form, the technical proposal, a video, and we'll guide you on that, as well as the CVs of all of the team members. We will have a live pitch with 10 finalists, and the 10 finalists we will then select 5 winners. Once we have selected the winners, we will even have an award ceremony, and there will be a lot of media coverage, hopefully, for all of the winners of the GESI Challenge Call. And finally, most importantly, is once we have the winners, we will actually implement the solutions. And these solutions will be documented and put inside a document so that people will know how to do GESI mainstreaming in TVET and skills institutions. A quick one on applications. So we would like to promote this challenge call. It's eligible for non-profit organizations. It's important that you have a legal status recognized by the Malaysian government, and especially if you have a accredited license number, and operations of a minimum of 2 years. I want to flag here that you will be applying as an institution, not as an individual. It's great if you have prior experience in mainstreaming gender equality and social inclusion, or have someone in the team who has that experience. Having key stakeholders' commitments so that we know that you're working in a partnership approach is very important. And most importantly, the solutions should be sustainable. Think about long-term solutions that will help other institutions grow. So the key evaluation criteria, I already mentioned the preliminary criteria, but for round one, we will be looking at the relevance of your proposals to the GESI agenda, whether or not it creates impact, how creative it is, how much value it will create, whether it addresses critical problems, if the problem, the solution is very clear on how you want to solve the problems and how well you structure your proposal, and the budget, of course, and sustainability and scalability. I flag here that it's great if you can also include co-financing options, because this gives us an idea that you are going to be sustainable. And this will be evaluated by a committee of technical experts. And then finally, we will have the live pitch. And here we're just looking for the wow factor, where we'll have senior officials from government, industry, and social partners look at your pitch and see if you are able to articulate the understanding of GESI, the focus area, and the beneficiaries. So this is the general flow. And what do winners will receive? I think that's very important, right? What's in it for you? So financial support, first of all, the ILO will winning entries will receive a grant up to USD 20,000. We will pay in Malaysian ringgit for all of the proposed solutions, the top 5 winners, and the winning ideas will receive technical guidance. So when you're implementing the solution, you will receive support from Skills for Prosperity Malaysia and the ILO Skills Innovation Facility based in Geneva to refine your solutions, to implement it, and then we will also give you the necessary tools. And finally, you will receive publicity and visibility for your proposal. And I want to flag here that you will join a global network of skills innovation network, which meets yearly, at least 3 times a year. And you will meet all of the skills innovation network winners of the past from all over the world. So with that, I would like to end my presentation. We will then move to the Q&A. We will now move on to the launch of the GESI Challenge Call. So I would like to ask Dr. Junichi Mori, Dr. Muhammad, T.S. Kamaruzaman to turn on your videos. I think you already have it on, and then we will play the launching video. Thank you. Are we okay to play the video, Jasmine?
Siaran terkendala sekejap.
Okay, so maybe while we wait for, I'll make a little bit of a change to the agenda since you are dealing with some technical issues for the videos. Let's move to the Q&A session. The video is up? Okay, if the video is up, let's share it. Thank you. Thank you so much. So with that, we have the launching of the GESI Challenge Call. Now I move on to the Q&A session. So I see everyone is on here, so I won't ask you to leave. Please stay on. Are there any questions from the participants? So you can either put it in the chat box or you can raise your hand if you have any questions. If anyone would like to ask a question, please go ahead. I see, Amelia, you have a question. Can you?
Yes, I'm just interested to know the thinking behind why did ILO and the group here choose to focus on a project that mainstreams GESI in Malaysia?
Junichi, would you like to try and take this question?
Okay, thank you very much for your thank you very much for your question, Emily, and then thank you, Shaza. So very important question. Thank you so much. Why ILO choose to focus on mainstreaming JC? First of all, the right to have a TVET, the equal treatment is a right of all the people. That's the most important thing. But second, the gender equality and social inclusion will promote a diversity of the talent. For example, and then this will also improve the quality and then the productivity. So in my even personal experience, like when I organize a group discussion, either in the industry or TVET institutions, always the group with a diversity create a new solution because they have an idea from different backgrounds. So definitely this will make TVET more creative, but also contribute to the inclusive industry development and then also economic development. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Junichi. So maybe I will ask the same question from colleagues in the Department of Skills Development. So what is the ministry? I mean, you mentioned that it is aligned with the 12 Malaysia plan and JESI is important, but maybe you can share a little bit more about what is the Department of Skills Development interest in gender equality and social inclusion. Dr. Muhammad, T.S. Kamaruzaman, please go ahead.
Thank you, Saza. In our case, the training program is open for all. We don't have a specific gender. Either you are qualified or not in our program, it's open whether you male or female. But certainly there is some restriction in terms of program or sector that may be quite difficult for certain gender to enroll. So that we have to admit that. But as in general, we are very open, so anybody can join the program. In fact, we can see from our past participation, we can see many female join the automotive industry for the mechanic program, something like that.
Thank you so much. T.S. Kamaruzama, would you like to add anything else?
It's already well spent by Dr. Muhammad.
Thank you. I would like to flag here kepada participant pada hari ini, kalau nak tanya soalan dalam bahasa Malaysia pun boleh. Saya akan tolong translate sekiranya ada yang segan sedikit untuk cakap bahasa Inggeris. So I will take one more question before we go on to the closing. Jangan anyone raising their hands on the chat box? Okay, I think since everyone is a little bit shy, I will ask the question. So can I ask what kind of solutions are we looking for the JESI Challenge Call? Maybe Junichi and then Dr. Muhammad, T.S. Kamaruzaman, like what do you think is important when they are proposing their solutions?
Maybe Dr. Muhammad, you want to respond first or should I? Okay.
Yeah, I think better Dr. Unity explain in detail.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, there are the diverse solutions, and then I don't want to limit the creativity or innovation by saying my comment. So please take my comment just from my personal view. For example, as Dr. Mohammed said, I think TVET skills training are quite open for everybody in Malaysia, but still like there's a difference depending on the course. So for example, like construction or mechanical engineering courses or machining courses, obviously many male are joining and then less female. So we really appreciate if we can get the solution how to promote more gender equality, for example. So for this, like a curriculum can be improved, or like a training hour can be more flexible, then probably those who are working can join, or those who are caring the families can also join. Another solution could be like thinking about a very simple issue about the facility. For example, from my previous experience, I talked with a female student, why you don't want to join some course? Then they said about the situation in a changing room, situation in a workshop about safety measures. So it's good to consider about those issues. And then finally about the person with disabilities, difficulties are there are diverse, various kind of the disability, but maybe we can also think about how to promote the participation for the people with a physical disability. Can we install some equipment, or again, can we install some safety measures? Or can we do promote the participation by the group work? So that could be something we can think. So that's a random solution, but maybe Dr. Mohammed or anybody want to add anything?
Yes, Dr. Nitya, I totally agree with you that maybe we are looking for another element that can support the participation of the female or male or vulnerable group. We are working with Abilimpi, Malaysian Abilimpi Council. We provide training for the what we call here is OKU. OKU mean orang kurang upaya. Sada, what's that mean?
PWD, person with disability.
Person with disability. We organize training for them, and then we provide all the facilities like the ramp for their wheelchair to move, and then the equipment for training also we accommodate with their ability to something like that. So maybe through this challenge, some innovative idea will come up and propose to us.
Thank you so much. I have a question. Sorry, I said last question, but I have a nice question from Miss Umaima from ILKBN for Golfing Institute. Is there any channel to issue unconscious bias or any action being taken if there is any? I mean, I think if I can rephrase it, how do we deal, what kind of action can be taken to deal with unconscious bias? Maybe in gender or maybe for different vulnerable groups like the B40. Would anyone like to take this question? Junichi or Dr. Mohammed?
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Mohammed, please.
I think the issue here is the explanation and the information is not received by all this our target group. So maybe we need to organize something like a seminar or talk to them, and then we explain the program is open to everybody, and we can facilitate whatever problem or issue arise. So this thing, if we can share with them, maybe they will understand more, and then they can participate in our program.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. I have one final question. He's from, I'm so sorry, I cannot get your name, but his concern is if innovation is prioritized more for training or on a general basis. Maybe Junichi, you want to take this one?
Okay, thank you very much. So let me look at the question carefully. If innovation is prioritized more for training on a general or either way, it's okay. That's my immediate answers. So of course, if you can make some innovation in a training, that's great. But probably you can also think about any other innovation, like as I said about the training environment, not training itself. Or like institutional policy could be something we can think to. So simply like again, I really hope we receive some idea even beyond my thoughts. So please think about what would be good for your organization or institution. Yeah, that could be most important.
Thank you so much. I feel suddenly now everybody is excited to ask questions. I'm so sorry, it's already 3:51. What we can do is actually take these questions and then we answer via email, or if there's anyone with a burning question, can I ask you to just open your microphone and ask? The rest that we have on the chat box, we can answer it via email if it's okay. Does anyone want to quickly ask a question live?
Hi, may I make a comment?
Sure.
Shaza? Yeah, well, personally, I have been focusing a lot on the employment transition for people with disabilities. I have worked at with JICA, collaboration with the JKM for a number of years to promote supported employment in Malaysia. I think there's a need for the government to perhaps bring the various agencies that are providing employment opportunities for persons with disabilities to work together to develop employment transition program in a systematic approach nationwide. I mean, I really envy what Japan is doing, for example. They're very organized. Students that finish special education, for example, will be guided and will be guided to go into employment transition program for those who need it. Yeah, support for employment. I think this is very much needed in Malaysia. So I hope perhaps agencies involved, could work together. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sweelan. I think that's a good idea, and that can be something you can propose in the challenge call as well. I think now we have, so I hope you will submit a proposal, and to all of the other participants, I want to say that we will now move on to the closing remarks section. Thank you so much to Dr. Muhammad, T.S. Kamar Zaman, and of course, Junichi. I would like to now invite Dr. Akiko Sakamoto, Regional Skills and Employability Specialist from the ILO Decent Work Technical Support Teams for East and Southeast Asia and the Pacific. Over to you, Akiko.
Thank you, Shaza. This is very exciting indeed, and thank you for very good questions and then the interesting discussion already. I'm supposed to give a concluding remark, but I just could not really stop thinking about what are the possible suggestions for the solutions, and I just was thinking about maybe that idea about enhancing the career guiding function in the institutions, advising, for example, in relation to the promoting the gender equalities, advising sort of a female learners about embarking on a career that they wouldn't really think about it, maybe in the area that are not really traditionally considered for women and such, and then because the gender inequality persists and the segregation persists in the choice of the training program and in the field of study. So this is maybe something thought about. And then as the Dr. Mohammed mentioned, that information sharing is very important to really improve the outreach to people who haven't been really well served by the training institutions, mobile training maybe, and maybe think about the community-based training, that are supported by the TVET institution, etc., etc. So I'm sorry, I'm just using my opportunity to share a few words. I could not help. Anyways, it's all really exciting. So anyway, I really would like to thank our co-organizer of the first Malaysia Skill Challenge Innovation Call today, namely Department of Skills Development, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and Youth Skills Department Division, Ministry of Youth and Sports. And thank you, Dr. Muhammad Sulaiman and Dr. Izmi Ahmad, respectively, for your encouraging opening remarks. And then I thank you in advance that your active collaboration in evaluating a proposal, and most importantly, supporting together with us implementation of the selected innovative actions that will be proposed by training institution. So ILO has implemented the skill challenge innovation code globally because we believe in and highly recognize the importance of ground level action to create the momentum of change, especially those actions initiated by actors on the ground. We certainly need a high level policy and guidance to reform and strengthen the skills and TVET system, but these not be effective if those policies are not anchored in actions at the ground level, as we know. So at the policy level, we are aware, and we are started having a discussion today here too, of the importance of promoting gender equality and social inclusion. But we all know that the TVET institutions and their managers and teachers are the best position to know and understand the needs and reality in promoting these ideas. Maybe some of the TVET institutions might have already thought about how to improve their outreach of their training to the vulnerable, or to increase the female participation in their program, especially the non-traditional area of learning, training, but have not had a chance to implement their ideas. Or maybe some other institution might have already implemented and tried some initiative there on their own, right? So real change takes place at the ground level, and really we hope that many TVET institutions will take this opportunity to participate in this skill challenge innovation call and share their ideas with us. We'll be most pleased to support the implementation of at least some of the top 5 ideas together with you. And at the broad level, what we really would like to see is that with your innovative ideas and their implementation, supported by the key ministries and agencies that share the aspiration of the promoting gender equality and social inclusion in Tibet, we can create the buzz in the air, right? Raising awareness among the general public about these ideas and to create a momentum to address the gender social inclusion agenda in the countries. So with this, I'd like to thank you, all of you, for your participation at the launch of this exciting initiative, and I encourage your continued participation for the following proposal development workshop. We, as Shaza is saying, and then all of us here from the organizing side, we really look forward to receiving many innovative proposals from you. Thank you. Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih banyak, Dr. Akiko. So with this, everyone, we really hope that the momentum will keep going, like you said, Akiko. And with this distinguished guest, we have now come to the end of the e-town hall. The proposal development workshop will begin at 4. Maybe I'll give you 2 minutes break before we start the e-town hall. And it will be presented by 3 specialists from their respective industry to talk about diversity and inclusion. There will be arts and drama, as well as citizenship journalism. So we will be having a lot of activities. We'll share some discussions about what kind of solutions we are looking for. So for those of you who are interested, please stay on. For those of you who have attended the town hall, we would like to really thank you on behalf of the International Labour Organization and co-organizers, Ministry of Human Resources, Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the British High Commission. We give you our deepest gratitudes to all of the attendees of the town hall. And those who are attending the workshop, I'll see you in about 2 minutes. So we'll meet back at 4:02. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad.
Thank you, Dr. Junti and Sadal. Thank you
Yeah.
all. Okay, I have to
Thank you
leave.
so
I
much.
have another event.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so
Muhammad.
much for staying
Thank
with
you.
us. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Kamal, T.S. Kamal
Thank you,
Zaman.
Mr. Kamal. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you, everyone. All right, for all of I see that we still have a lot of people who are joining our workshop. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce the MC for this workshop. So I was your MC for the town hall. Jasmine, would you like to turn on your video? I think you've seen her a few times, but maybe I just let you introduce yourself, Jasmine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jasmine, and I'm in the same room with fitness coach. You can see her. She is like magic. This is Miss Nikki Yo. She will be taking everyone through exercise because today it's Friday. Yay! So we want to actually ask everybody to stretch and exercise a bit. Sebab if we sit in front of our desk for too long, nanti back sakit lah, tekak sakit lah, kepala sakit, all idea terstuck. So I'm very, very happy to be here to co-host with Shaza and be involved in this program. And later we will introduce you to our workshop facilitators. We assure you that you will have a lot of fun. So get ready, yeah? We will start very, very soon.
Thank you. So participants, I just want to say kita akan campur bahasa Malaysia dan bahasa Inggeris. This is so that people feel comfortable to speak. So kalau anda lagi selesa bercakap dalam bahasa Melayu, please go ahead. Kalau you nak campur-campur macam saya pun boleh atau English pun boleh. We're all excited. So for this session, I would like to ask participants kalau boleh buka video lah so kita boleh meriahkan the session. So if you can open your videos, then we can do the exercises together. I'll keep my video on so that we can do it together. I know we're all in different parts of Malaysia, but let's join in together and have fun. This workshop, don't be afraid to ask questions and so forth. So no worries. Any question is open. And I've seen some of the questions in the chat and we'll address them as well.
Hi everybody. Today is Fun Fit Friday and let's get it ready and let's rock. Okay, let's raise both of your hands up like this. We'll do 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. And then now we're gonna raise our hands to the side. 1, nice stretch. 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just stand up from our chair 5 times as well. Get ready. 1, 2, 3. Stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one, 5. Stand really tall. Okay, now we're gonna incorporate lifting hands as well as standing up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one. Reach for the sky. Reach for the sky. There you go. And now we're gonna do the side one and stand up as well. Ready? 1, 2. Open your chest. 1. Sit down again. 2. 1 more time. 3. We've got 2 more to go. 4. Very good. And last one. 5. Okay. What I want you guys to do is stand up and reach really tall. 1, 2. Everybody reach the sky. Reach. Yay. Enjoy. Have a good Friday.
Thank you very much, Miss Nikki. She's from move8.org. Thank you. Over to you, Shaza.
Thank you so much. So thanks, Nikki. I think we had a bit of difficulty, but I'm glad to see. I see Mr. Eddie was really enthusiastic, so I'm very happy to see that. Let's give him a clap. Okay, so now we are going on with the overview of today's workshop. So if Jasmine, you can show the screen with the agenda.
Yes, I will. Just give me one moment.
So today we are having the proposal development workshop, and then I'll just go over the agenda for today. And Jasmine, please chime in. So we'll start with today with the workshop agenda brief, which is right now, and then we'll have an overview of the Jessie Challenge call. I think since most of you have already come here, maybe we can take this time to answer a few of the questions related to whether or not it's an innovative solution and so forth. Then maybe Jasmine, you can walk through the other areas of the agenda.
Yes, sure. So, excuse me. So everybody, we have three facilitators with us today. We will be starting with Miss Emilia Sharif, and she's from Speak Up Malaysia. Emilia, would you like to just say hi?
Hi.
And then after that, we also have Miss Amina Jindani, who's from MOHR Academy, MOHR Drama. Moon, are you there?
Hello.
Her nickname
Hi.
is Moon. Hello.
Hi, I'm Amina, also known as Moon.
Yes, some of you who may recognize her from her actress days a few years ago, you might recognize her. And also we have Mr. Maran Perianan, who is from Far East Documentary Center. Maran, are you there? Can you give us a wave?
I'm here.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Maran is a former journalist and also a documentary maker and a filmmaker. So lots of things to share later on how you can actually make a video in just 90 seconds, because that's one of the things that we will require participants to do. Using a mobile phone, or if you're more familiar, you can use vodcast technology. After that, at the end of the workshop, it will be Miss Shaza On and myself again, giving you a little bit of a flow onto what's going to happen with the application form, the technical part, the budget, and the Gantt charts. So finally, we will then have closing remarks from Dr. Junichi Mori, who will give us some interesting information on how and what the next steps are. So after that, it will be good luck and goodbye, because we have the application deadline on the 17th of August. Yeah, bulan August, hari bulan 17. That's the deadline, submission deadline. So you have about 2 weeks to prepare. And I think for us to go to the next slide now, I would like to invite Ms. Shaza back again so that we can start with this.
Sure, thank you, Jasmine. So I think I saw a question on the chat about whether or not we're looking for new solutions. So I want to say here that we are actually open to solutions that you already have, but we want to see how you are innovating and how you're improving upon it. And it's good if you are working in partnerships. So I think a colleague of ours mentioned that government should work together and together with TVET skills institutions, and that's something we're looking for, this kind of collaborative partnership. It's sustainable. It's okay if you've already implemented it, because it shows that you know how to do it, and then maybe you want to add a little bit more to make it more innovative and scalable as well as replicable. We'll just kind of leave it open for some more Q&A if anyone has a specific question. Boleh tanya terus dalam bahasa atau dalam in English.
Yes, Cik Ayu.
Thank you. Right. Actually, I have a question on the chat box. Like I said just now, actually we have no problem training different genders in different field. But the issue is that based on our students' experience is that when they go for interviews, they fail just because they are a girl in the men's field. So to me, it's kind of like who are the players to convince the industries that these people, the girls or the female gender, they are also compatible to men. So we only the training providers, we train them equally. But at the end of the day, when they're trying to get a job, this is what happened. This is based on my students' experience actually. So how do we overcome this?
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Actually, that's a great point because sometimes even in our data, macroeconomic data, we find that women are in certain occupations and then certain types of sectors only, and it could be because of a gender bias. So in the Jessie challenge call, we have in the TVET life cycle an issue we can have solutions for the transitions to work. So in this sense, what we've done in the ILO, for example, we work together with employers, organizations, and then you can come up with policies work with them to come up with policies against discrimination, or sometimes it's about awareness raising. So these are some of the things that you can think about when you're proposing your solution. It can be having a stronger kind of contract agreement with the employer representative organizations to get them to push forward the idea of gender equality. I think we had, Junichi also has a point here. So maybe Junichi, you want to jump in?
Yeah, actually, it's a great question. So thank you very much. So maybe you may feel the more issue about how to say the transition to work part. In my previous experience, I faced the same issue. So what I did is a very ground solution. There are some company like that, but the others may be more interested in recruiting some female workers. So I picked up the example in one company who recruit our female student as skilled machine operators, and then we highlighted them as a good model. And then we tried to promote to other companies. That's what we did. Then even I asked a general director of that company to talk with other company why they are recruiting the female workers. So this is, I don't say this is this will solve everything, but that could be the one thing. So I really appreciate if you can think about some innovative idea, what you can do with employers. That can be a good activity too.
Thank you, Junichi. Any more questions?
Back to that just now. We set our student for industrial training, right? So we hope so much that when these female students perform, at least the industry will open their eyes. So we always remind our students to present their best in when they are doing their internship, and also this to prove to them that they are actually compatible. They are what the industries want. Thank you for the ideas. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing, Puan Ayu, and I hope we can discuss this further when we have our session on the ideation. So we will actually have group breakouts for this. So I think without further ado, maybe Jasmine, we will invite Amelia for her session to talk a little bit more about Jessie principles, as well as some of the challenges we face in TVET and skills institutions. So maybe over to you, Amelia.
Thank you so much, Shaza. Hai semua, Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Nama saya Amelia, boleh panggil M. Hari ini saya akan buat pembentangan sedikit berkenaan dengan GASI di TVET ataupun Skills Training Institutions di Malaysia. Pembentangan saya pada hari ini saya akan buat dalam bahasa Malaysia dengan bahasa Inggeris, campur-campur sikit. I hope you don't mind. And lagi satu, saya nak minta kalau boleh turn on your cameras supaya saya tak awkward lah. Saya tak rasa macam saya cakap seseorang. And being able to see your face will really help me be able to see if I'm making sense, or if I should make something clearer and things like that. So if you don't mind, please turn on your cameras for this session. Okay, pertama sekali saya nak cakap, bila saya buat pembentangan selalunya pasal GASI, orang akan cakap, oh M, complicated lah GASI ni, it's so intimidating, it's such a big concept, macam mana nak faham? So usually what I will tell them is, when you look at GASI as a big concept, of course it seems overwhelming. But if you were to break down the components, like under gender equality, it's about understanding gender, which we do. The second part is about understanding equality, which we also do, because dalam sesi ni pun sudah dengar banyak orang bercakap mengenai macam mana kita nak treat each other dengan secara fair, tanpa sebarang diskriminasi atau prejudice. It's all about being fair to everyone, right? So that one is also something that we understand. When it comes to social inclusion, it is about recognizing that our society is made up of banyak orang dari banyak identity, dari banyak background. Jadi macam mana kita nak buat semua orang rasa included, and on top of that, how do we make sure that everyone can access the opportunity, tools, resources, dan juga dari segi participation dan accessibility juga. Bila kita break down GASI macam ni, it feels less overwhelming because each component adalah komponen yang kita faham. Sebagai manusia, kita belajar, we know good and evil, kita tahu dosa pahala. So all of this is actually something about that boils down to treating each other with respect. Okay, the first thing is definition. Okay, saya akan pakai definition yang ILO pakai. It's quite comprehensive. Gender equality refers to the full and equal exercise of rights by men and women. They have equal access to socially, economically and politically valued goods, resources, opportunities, benefits and services. Ni sama macam saya cakap tadi. Gender equality maknanya every single gender, lelaki dan perempuan semua boleh akses benda yang sama tanpa sebarang diskriminasi dan prejudis. Yang kedua, apa itu social exclusion? So social exclusion occurs when certain groups are systematically disadvantaged based on their social characteristics. Jadi social characteristics ni boleh jadi dia punya gender, boleh jadi dia punya umur, boleh juga jadi disability, sama ada mental disability, or intellectual disability, physical disability, hearing disability dan sebagainya. Dan kita tengok juga perkara seperti level of education, literacy, di sekolah tak kat mana dan sebagainya. Jadi bila ada individu yang tak boleh join sesuatu program ataupun tak boleh complete sesuatu program sebab dia tak boleh akses, contoh tak habis SPM, contoh nak pergi training bangunan tu level 5 dia tak boleh akses. So all of these things are things that will create social exclusion. Jadi penting untuk kita faham bahawa bila kita bercakap pasal social exclusion, it's not enough to just say sebagai trainer saya boleh train laki ke perempuan ke, disability ke tak ada disability ke, saya tak kisah, we can train everyone. So that in itself is not enough because it is about structural changes. We know that facilitators, as teachers, as educators, usually they are very nice to their students, right? They are willing to teach anyone because that's their role as educators. But it's not enough to just say we are willing to teach, but we have to look further than that. We have to look at struktur, kena tengok policy, kena tengok requirement dan sebagainya, dan kita kena lihat sama ada dari segi perkara-perkara tersebut akan ada atau tidak terjadi impact di mana sesetengah golongan itu ter-exclude daripada program yang sepatutnya diorang boleh join. Jadi the opposite, iaitu social inclusion, that happens when you remove semua institutional barriers, structural barriers, systemic barriers, and you improve the incentives to increase the access to develop opportunities by a range of individuals and group. So in essence, social inclusion is about making the rules of the game fairer. Saya ada satu ilustrasi di sini, so nak cakap equality dan equity. From this picture, you can tell that there is a big difference between equality and equity. And I put this here because usually people will ask me, kalau nak equality, then we treat everyone the same lah. Kenapa kena ada special policy untuk treat golongan wanita sebagai contoh? Kenapa kena ada special policy untuk treat golongan OKU sebagai contoh? Cakap nak equality, jadi semua sama lah. Kenapa kena ada perkara yang contoh specific policy that are catered to a certain group, right? So I want to highlight here the equality is actually a function of outcome. What we want in the end is equality. We want people to be able to access the opportunities. We want for people to be able to access training centers, training programs. But how do we get there is through equitable processes. So equality is important because that is what we're trying to achieve. But the way you do it, the way you achieve equality might not mean you treat everyone the same. You may have to tailor-make certain policies, certain structures, so that you can help people who are disadvantaged. So that is the difference between equality and equity. Seterusnya, diversity dan inclusion. Ni pun selalu orang tanya saya, dah ada diversity maknanya ada inclusion lah kan? Not true, because just because you have a diverse group of people doesn't mean they will automatically feel equally included. So if you look at this picture that I put on the screen, so belah kiri adalah diversity. That means you ada benang yang pelbagai warna. Itu menunjukkan wanita, lelaki, anak muda, golongan PWD dan sebagainya. But just because you have diverse group of people doesn't mean automatically they will be able to access everything equally. Jadi there will be certain policies yang kena buat untuk specifically cater to macam mana nak make sure everyone feel included. Okay, so diversity is about recruitment. Macam mana kita nak ada pelbagai orang daripada pelbagai background untuk join this program. Inclusion is about treatment. So you cannot expect that just because you have a diverse group of people, semua akan included. It's not the same. You need two different, or sometimes more than two, different kind of strategies to achieve diversity and inclusion. Next, I want to just highlight the last point about justice, or how do we achieve empowerment, right? Selalunya bila saya cakap, okay, we have to have policies that caters to certain things, and then orang cakap, kira nasib lah, right? Ikut. Then if you are the person on the side of the tree where the apples don't really grow, then that's your nasib. Or we've done all that we can. There's a tree there, so whether or not you have apples or not is beyond my control. So that is not enough to achieve empowerment. So if you look at the last picture, what we have to do is kita tarik pokok tu, kita bagi dia center, kita baja kiri kanan so that fair untuk semua orang untuk access. So I just want people to remember these pictures at the back of your head. Because at the bottom of what GESI is, I think these three things should give you enough picture or enough things to make sure that you are able to understand the concepts. The next part is very important sebab saya nak explain apakah cabaran-cabaran yang kita alami di TVET ataupun skills training institution di Malaysia. If you look at this picture, satu, kita ada lack of access. Bila ada lack of access, orang tak boleh join program pun. Jadi itu barrier to entry. Kadang-kadang dia boleh access the program tapi the choice of program dan sebagainya tak bersesuaian, jadi dia drop out. Kadang-kadang dia boleh join, tapi lepas tu attendance, learning methodology dan material sebagainya tak bersesuaian. Dia akan drop out lagi, akan ada lagi orang yang drop out. And then maybe dia dapat complete dia punya program, tapi assessment criteria ataupun assessment standard dia a bit too high ataupun tak bersesuaian. Orang akan drop out lagi. Jadi the number akan jadi semakin kecil sebab ada people yang fall through the cracks, yang drop out dekat every part. Jadi challenges sampailah ke transition of work macam Dr. Junichi mentioned tadi, it will become very, very challenging for them to actually complete the program to a point that they can be employed. So I want to give you some examples of what are the specific challenges that people face. The first one dari segi access dan choice of program. Pertama, digital divide ataupun travel distance. Kadang-kadang program tu dibuat secara online, vulnerable groups tak boleh nak access. Kadang-kadang tak ada internet, kadang-kadang ada internet, tapi masa tak bersesuaian dan sebagainya. Travel distance, daripada rumah dan nak commute kepada TVET institutions juga sangat jauh sebagai contoh. Yang ketiga, absence or inadequate facilities. Sebagai contoh, PWDs yang duduk di rural areas have a chance to access, rarely have a chance to access TVET institutions because there is a lack of boarding facilities at reasonable cost sebagainya. Contoh, saya dari Penang, katakanlah saya nak pergi program yang saya nak tu ada kat Selangor sahaja. Tapi bila saya pergi ke Selangor, sewa rumah sebulan dah 1,500. Jadi saya tak mampu nak access the program sebagai contoh. Dan lastly, of course, kita bercakap pasal cost. So all of this, cost tuition, cost boarding fees, cost transport dan sebagainya adalah sangat tinggi. Jadi saya tak boleh nak join the program pun. Then lastly, one thing we have to understand is for a lot of these families, sometimes going to school, going to TVET institutions means that they don't have the time to work to help their families. Sebab the mentality is this, kalau I kerja sekarang, I get money now and I can help my parents, I can help my family earn some income. But if I were to go to the TVET institution, then I cannot work. because maybe the timing is not flexible enough, the scheduling is not flexible enough. So as a result, I have to choose, do I want to go to study or do I want to keep working and help my family? So cost is actually quite a huge factor here. Yang kedua, macam saya dah cakap tadi, dari segi attendance, learning material dan methodology. Yang pertama, low education. Indigenous communities and youth in rural areas sebagai contoh, less likely to enroll sebab dia tak complete secondary schooling, macam saya cakap. Yang kedua, training environment. Kadang-kadang ada discriminatory practices or racist attitudes, kadang-kadang ada language barriers, kadang-kadang kelas tu lama sangat, jadi kadang ada PWD yang contoh ada masalah spine dan nerve sebagainya, dia tak boleh nak duduk dalam kelas tu lama-lama, jadi dia makin lama kelas tu makin susah dia nak attend. So training environment is also very difficult for people. And then there is a mismatch of apa yang training program yang kita offer dan dia tak align dengan labour dan market demand. Saya tak perlu explain ni sebab saya dengar banyak dah sebut pasal perkara ni. Last kali, lost learning generation. So the closure of TVET institution masa COVID-19, of course it affects the learning outcomes. There's a cancellation of examination that affects their ability to continue their study and access the labour market as well. So that is another set of challenges. The three big group of challenge is pertaining to assessment and certification. Kadang-kadang assessment tu theory based sangat. So some people, they already have the practical skills tapi tak boleh nak duduk buat certification sebab the level of theory that is required is too high and maybe they are not able to do the theory. Tapi kalau suruh dia orang buat kerja itu dia faham, dia boleh buat dari start sampai habis. Right? So assessment punya requirement sebagai contoh. Assessment procedure lagi satu, then there's a time and assessment cost. Bila the time allocated for assessment is too short. So banyak kita lihat kadang-kadang kita bagi time yang sama untuk semua orang buat assessment dan untuk buat exam. Tapi some people that may have learning disabilities, mungkin they require more time to be able to complete the same essay that everyone else can complete, for example. Aside from cost, there's also quality of program. So ini pun sama, macam saya cakap tadi, program tak bersesuaian dengan apa yang industri minta. Dan kadang-kadang TVET institutions in rural area juga, dia courses yang dia offer tu sangat stereotypical and low competency level. Jadi this institution also have difficulties lah because they are poorly equipped, obsolete training equipment, kelas terlalu besar dan sebagainya. Dan akhir sekali, transition to work. Banyak saya tengok tadi komen-komen berkenaan dengan the ability of the students to be able to transition to work. Sebab yang pertama ada mismatch between TVET dan workplace skills. Yang kedua, core skills. So vulnerable group may not possess employability and job search skills. So contoh, saya kerja dalam food processing. Saya tahu macam mana nak buat kerja tu, tapi tak ada siapa ajar saya macam mana nak tulis CV, macam mana nak pergi interview, macam mana nak jawab soalan, apa saya patut buat, nak prepare macam mana dan sebagainya. Seterusnya, dari segi network, they don't have access to labour market information and network to facilitate to access the job. And last but not least is in terms of resources. Lack of resources for self-employment and business startups, including lack of family support and social network for job creation dan sebagainya. Jadi 4 core challenges ni saya akan ulang balik just so that everyone can remember. But also because nanti lepas ni kita akan masuk buat workshop and you will have to suggest some challenges based on these 4 categories. So I nak ulang balik so you remember the 4 categories. The first one is access and choice of program. Yang kedua, barrier atau challenges dari segi attendance, learning material dan methodology. Yang ketiga, dari segi assessment dan certification. Dan akhir sekali, dari segi transition to work. Itu sahaja dari saya. Sorry, saya buat cepat sikit so that we can make up for lost time. But if you have any questions, I would love to take your questions. Ada soalan tak?
Thank you, Amelia.
Amelia, Syahrul from ILP Nursing. Saya punya soalan, apa yang Amelia dah bentangkan tadi, contohnya kita di institut latihan, ada idea tetapi dia melibatkan policy maker yang akan putuskan benda tu boleh dilaksanakan ataupun tidak. Jadi untuk workshop ni dan juga proposal kita, adakah limitation bahawa proposal kita tu nanti mestilah boleh dilaksanakan sebab ada certain aspect yang it is out of our control lah. As a trainer, we will propose based on our experience, but at the end, we will submit the proposal to the policymaker to decide, is it possible to run at our institution or we have to other option. Thank you, Emilia.
Thank you, T.S. Sharul. That is actually such an excellent question. Sebab memang betul, kadang-kadang kita nak improve the situation, but not everything is within our control and it makes it so hard. Some things memang are at policy level. Kadang-kadang some things that we want to change, kena masuk parlimen, kena tukar law, baru boleh tukar. Jadi saya faham sangat susah. Saya difahamkan untuk this challenge call, untuk this innovation, lebih baik kalau kita fokus kepada perkara-perkara that is within your control. Sebagai contoh, concrete actionable items yang you boleh implement right now within your respective institution. So that is what we're looking for. Sebab katakanlah kita propose something that would require parliament to deliberate, then ILO pun tak tahu macam mana nak proceed with this kind of situation kan. Jadi saya advise fokus kepada perkara yang boleh control. Saya fahamlah it's a bit frustrating sebab this might not be as big of a change that we want. Tapi fokus kepada ke arah itu. I think that will be best. Shaza, maybe you want to add on.
Ya, saya just nak tambahkan. So let's say T.S. Sharul, kalau solution tu adalah sesuatu yang bagus, right? Apa yang kita akan buat adalah kita document. Kita akan trial dulu, kita implementasi. Kalau solution tu bagus, then kita akan angkat kepada colleagues dekat KBS, contohnya dengan DSD, MOHR. Sebab ini matlamat untuk challenge call ini adalah kita try solution ni, implement, dan kalau benda apa yang kita belajar daripada implementasi solusi ini, kita akan angkat supaya dia boleh diwar-warkan dan diperbesarkan lagi. Jadi kalau T.S. Sharul ada solution yang benar, semua tu, that is something that we welcome sebab it maybe is good, then it can be followed by other TVET skills institutions.
Thank you, Shaza. Ada soalan lagi tak?
Emilia.
Ya, saya.
Macam tadi kan macam TS cakap, it's something we have to get consent from our bigger ni kan. So the thing is the changes that we need to make to somehow or rather it will involve financial.
Betul.
Itulah, that is the biggest issue here lah. That we're talking about challenge in gender and equality and so on kan. But in the end, it end up like financially yang jadi big issue-nya.
Faham. Macam Shaza cakap tadi, thank you Puan Ayu atas soalan tu. The focus here is to pilot your solution first. Jadi kalau the solution is good, so maybe you will get up to 20,000 USD. So that should be enough seed money to try and pilot it. Kalau okay, ILO akan angkat proposal tu. Kita tengok macam mana reaksi daripada kementerian dan sebagainya. If it's good, it's good. Then hopefully the right credit will be given to the ideas. And that's our hope. But I like that you mentioned the word consent, Puan Ayu. Then I think when we're talking about what proposal to come up with, suka saya ingatkan bahawa let's not use our assumptions in terms of what area we want to address. Jadi baik sekiranya we ask the students, do a bit of fact finding, talk to them and see what areas would they like to improve. Sebagai saya juga sebagai seorang educator, sebagai seorang trainer, kadang-kadang kita rasa macam dah okay kan. But when you talk to the students, sometimes they will give you new perspectives, new input. So it's always great to make sure that the proposals are not based on our assumptions of what is good, what we're doing, whether or not it's enough and whatnot. Make sure you get that perspective. And I do believe that when you talk to the target group, the youth, the women, persons with disabilities, they will always be able to tell you what are the challenges they are currently facing. And inshallah, if we have the power to address with that at our level institutionally, that is something we can focus on. That would be, I think, my advice.
Saya nak tambah di sini, sekiranya Puan nak buat this self-assessment, ILO juga ada like tool for you to check in your TVET institution. Dia akan nak tanya soalan lah seperti adakah do you collect data on vulnerable groups punya enrollment, dropouts, then you can see the full picture of where you are in terms of inclusion. So saya dah hantar dalam chat box ni, so kalau tuan-puan semua bersedia, you can also do this during your own time. Try to see in your TVET skills institution where you are in terms of inclusion. Right, thank you.
Okay, there is someone else yang angkat tangan. Saya akan ambil satu lagi soalan because we have a long day to go. Tapi at the end of the workshop hari ini, saya akan tunggu dekat Zoom. If you have more questions for me, I will stay back and I will answer them. But let's take one more final one and then kita buat workshop in breakout rooms, okay? Yes, go ahead. Ya, saya.
Saiful daripada KBS. Okay, so if we have a current project, current program, but dia tak jadi national punya agenda tau. So that's why this program kita related dengan not belia needs, dia not in education, employment and training. So sekiranya kita nak cadangkan juga kepada ILO this one, tapi mungkin projek ni kita buat dekat KBS, tapi mungkin dekat institut TVET lain tak buat lagi contohnya, boleh ke kita nak cadang untuk pilot project macam tu?
Okay, faham. Saya tak layak nak jawab soalan ni. Saya bagi kat Syaza.
So kalau ini adalah program yang telah dilaksanakan, saya recommend that you can cadangkan, cuma just check if it's scalable, replicable, sustainable. So you boleh buat penambahbaikan juga dalam cadangan tersebut lah. So you actually it's okay kalau you dah try and then now you nak enhance a bit more, use this opportunity to like tingkatkan lagi lah.
Okay, TS Haji Muhammad Khairul, would you like to quickly say something? Because I'm not sure if you have a question. Sebab tangan dia dah angkat lama, jadi saya serba salah kalau tak ambil.
Okay, saya tanya soalan simple lah. Sebab kita punya organisasi dekat Malaysia ni, dia tak sama dia punya facility, dia punya dasar dia. Jadi kalau kita buat challenge ni, dia akan berbeza daripada perspektif event institution tu sendiri. Contohnya saya daripada Jamara, dia punya background dia lain, dekat ILP dia ada dengan kemudahan dia lain. Jadi benda ni dia akan berbeza dari segi dia punya outcome nanti. Itu saya punya pandangan.
Faham? I'll take that as commentary because I think it's not so much a question, but memang kita faham different problems have different solutions and different institutions would need very specific kind of solution. Jadi tak apa, Encik Khairul, I think if you want to do it for Giat Mara sebagai contoh, I think that's okay, that's not a problem. So you can just do it for Giat Mara. There is still, you can still fulfill the requirement as long as you tunjuk boleh scale tak kepada kesemua Giat Mara dan sebagainya. That requirement will still be okay. Alright. Syaza, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go. Just to say, untuk challenge call ni memang kita nak tengok kepada solusi bagi institusi sahaja. Then daripada segi how to scale, replicate, semua tu kita also boleh berikan guidance lah, especially for the winners. Tapi kalau you dah ada idea, kita boleh bantu. Just to say that after dah submit proposal and then if you are winner, kita akan bagi lagi guidance macam mana nak tingkatkan lagi lah.
Okay, thank you Syaza. Next kita akan bergerak kepada breakout room. Sebelum tu saya nak introduce dulu semua orang kepada someone special, a friend of mine, a beautiful creative soul, a storytelling expert. Please welcome Amina Jindani or Moon, the founder of MOHR Drama. So Moon, please welcome on the virtual stage.
Thank you, Amelia. That was actually a very insightful and theoretical understanding of what Jessie is, and I think we do need to put that theory into some sort of like mental challenge so that we can understand it more fully and discuss ideas. So this is going to be a great session.
Thank you, Moon, or Amina.
Amina,
okay.
yeah.
So let's move to the breakout rooms. I believe that you have already been moved, so boleh accept invitation kalau ada. We'll take it further in the breakout rooms. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
Okay, we will go to the breakout rooms right now.
It's on a ministry level, right? So maybe they will depend on your place, maybe your maybe your location and so on.
But it's like from the 4 challenges that we talked about earlier, kan? So if what you said, because that if there's no soft skills, that means if they were to go to interview, it's quite hard.
No, the issue is not. I'm saying the soft skill is not in term of call on education. My what I mean is like there's no in my institution is more on a mechanical. That means we do not have like hospitality courses,
right?
Where the maybe the female can be joined, right? So there's an issue. I mean, like a mechanical is more to because people more males will be joining these courses.
Is there a way that is there like any solution that can encourage more female to join the mechanical field? Or
yeah, there's some female, but I didn't deny it. We got some students from female. I mean, a lot of female students in our mechanical field. But there's some restriction. I mean, like what we call like welding courses. Maybe a few, not all. The majority is male.
Okay.
Because it's mechanical courses, right?
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kesavan. That's very helpful. Thank you for sharing. Maybe we want to go to the next person. I will read out some names. Encik Azmi, Encik Mazuki, would you like to share something?
Accommodation for the course, especially in oil and gas course.
So this means that I'm imagining that there is, regardless of whether gender issue, regardless of whether they have disabilities or not, this is already a problem, male or female.
Yeah, both.
For both, right? Okay. What would you say if there was financial support? What would be the first thing that you would suggest that you need?
I think I can say we can buy a new bus or buy a new what's called a van or whatsoever, but it will not be what you call penyelesaian yang mutamat lah. Kalau kita kata begitu, kalau kita bas pun kita akan ada issues of maintenance and so on. So kita akan ada isu tu.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. I can't think about a solution right now. And boleh kalau kawan-kawan yang ada dalam ni boleh bantu kalau kita ada solution dan sebagainya, ada cadangan.
Let's see if there's anyone else in this room who may have some idea of a solution. We can open it up to everybody here. Apart from the location being remote and transportation being difficult, there's also the issue of the hostel facilities. Perhaps we can focus on something to do with that as well. But if anybody has ideas in this room, what suggestions would you have for a situation like this?
I think Mr. Tina Karen boleh kot bagi cadangan. Tina, you also been here before kan?
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Fikri. Yeah. About the question you raised up, the problem, the challenges. Yeah, we here in Sepang, even in Sepang, and we running the plastic injection molding. Even in Shalam, we also have the same challenges. That's what happening here, that about the program, choice of program. Even in IKTBN, only IKBN Sepang offering the plastic injection molding until the diploma level. Even the program is fully funded by Kementerian Belia dan Sukan. So no issue on that. But the problem is now in industrial side. When we look at the industrial sites, the problem is now everyone is looking for the workforce. And the same situation is the way happen here. then what are the things we done at the moment that maybe in future, maybe in 2 years or 3 years in times, that we can assist all the industry players, especially in plastic injection moldings or in plastic recycling, that what we did at the moment, we tie up, we engage with the industry players, that we bring in all the industry players, we do some research for them, and then the same times we do the production, also the production for the industry, that the industry we can not meet their requirement, but as long we can assist them, whatever they can develop at their industry with our student. That is we promote the way we promote to the industry what we can do and what our student can assist their in future.
So you propose that the communication is the bridge between the workplace and the training center.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what would you require? Would you require information that you need to do research?
Actually, the thing started in 2017 and 2000 is around almost 5 years or 6 years ago. That is started with the recycling plastics. Then we start with the innovations, and when we went to all of the industries, that we create the network with the industries. So what we can do and what we can give the solution to the industries, how they recycle. So from there we get the network. So from one network, the main network, so now we have what we call is simply we can say it's an octopus strategy. From IKTB and Sepang, we have few community industry players that we can inform them and get the network with them.
So you call it octopus strategy?
Yeah, octopus strategy.
Masalah semakin itulah susah pada dia, pada pelajar itu sendiri.
Okay. So choice of course tu kiranya masalah dia tak ada minat lah sebenarnya.
Dia pelajar tu contoh minat untuk bidang A, katalah otomotif lah. Tapi
betul.
parents dia suruh masuk hospitality katakan.
Okay,
sebab dia katakan ada peluang pekerjaan yang lebih baik. So bila kita tengok macam ni, pelajar bila dia masuk kursus pilihan keluarga, dia tak dapat nak tumpukan perhatian pada pembelajaran dia.
Tu kiranya betul lah, tu kira.
Okay. So one of the cabaran tadi, let's say we pick salah satu. Let's say we pick okay, industry readiness to employ. Katakanlah, so masalahnya sekarang adalah ada student yang dia buat sesuatu program tu tapi industri tak nak hire. Okay, so in the 3-story act, macam mana kita nak tunjuk Act 1, Act 2, Act 3? Sebab Act 1 is nak introduce the people. What is their life like right now? Okay, so what would the beginning be? Anyone?
Wanita dalam industri kan. Okey, kalau sebelum ni saya nak share, kalau sebab diorang ni diorang tak tahu apa kelebihan dan kelemahan. Okey, diorang nampak macam wanita ni lemah. So why don't kita collaborate dengan macam contoh kalau ILP more to hard skill kan. So ada company yang dia boleh attach macam kami buat weekend attachment. So all the students dia akan involve dan dia akan pergi for the whole year. Sepanjang diorang punya pembelajaran lah. Contoh kalau 2 tahun dah aku pergi, tapi bukan kepada satu sahaja company. So maksudnya kalau macam saya involved in hotel industry. So bila dekat hotel kami akan engage dengan more than 3 hotels untuk satu level student. So setiap student ni dia akan exchange lah dia punya hotel based on dia punya syllabus ataupun modul. Dan kita yang akan tetapkan apa yang pelajar tu akan belajar di situ, bukan hotel. So di sini dan kita tak paksa hotel atau maksudnya industri tu untuk macam bagi macam allowance ke apa, tak ada. It's depend on them. Tapi kita just nak dia bagi macam contoh peluang kepada student kita untuk tunjukkan talent diorang, either men or girls. Tapi at least dia nampak apa bezanya student TVET dengan student lain. Based on my experience, kalau macam kita buat macam ni, satu student attitude pun kita boleh tackle, and then kita boleh tahu apa yang industri tu nak sebenarnya, dan kita boleh discuss face to face. Dia tak ada apa yang maksudnya kalau dia kata okay, student kita ni rumah dekat mana, so dekat situ kita dah boleh ambil dia sebenarnya. Kalau macam ikutnya kita banyak kita tak ada macam satu cara nak tak semua macam tu nak cari sebenarnya company yang boleh terima tu sebenarnya. Sebab dia orang selalunya fikir bila kita hantar dekat industri dia orang kena ajar. Tapi kita twist the plot, maksudnya kita akan hantar dulu mereka yang kita dah train, dia orang dah belajar benda tu. Dan contoh, okay, kita cakap belajar ni daripada basics dia dah sampai modul kat sini. So dia punya capability sampai dekat sini. Okay, for the next kita akan hantar lagi okay, orang yang sama untuk next batch. So dia akan tahu. Selalunya kalau based on my experience, student ni dia habis je, company akan nak dia. Tu apa yang saya buat sekarang lah, I share. Terima kasih.
Yeah, that's very great. Thank you so much, Puan Silawati, right? So kiranya dia macam TVET institutions develop a structured training program with industry based on the industry needs, tapi you develop and then you buat weekend attachment with female students who have been trained for 1 to 2 years with different companies, kan? On a rotational basis, kan?
Yes.
And, okay. I rasa dia agak cantik kalau kita boleh bagi nama kepada program ni. Boleh tak saya minta idea untuk bagi nama, dan kita buat video tu kita boleh letak nama benda tu. Women can do it. I don't know. I just bagi wanita boleh, wanita.
Baru je sembang dah.
In my room, everybody was so excitedly sharing in my room, and then we got moved.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. My room too. Actually, can I just get can I get you to finish something you said? So the assessment.
Okay. So this one kita prepare program intensive for youth, maybe not in education, employment and training. So intensive program after 1 year. Belia ni bekerja dengan industri tu, kita buat persijilan untuk dia. Buat assessment and then buat persijilan supaya dia ada sijil lah dalam tempoh setahun atau 2 tahun tu. That's dia punya cadangan kita lah. Kalau untuk assessment and certification.
Alright, faham. Thank you.
Cheating ni dia tambah masa untuk grup dia.
Aina tambah sikit lah Aina.
Okay. Rasanya boleh kot Emilia tambah sikit.
Maksudnya pelajar tak dapat buat pilihan berdasarkan keutamaan pilihan dia.
Betul. So that would be choice of program lah kan. So in the end, it's not truly their interest.
Yes. Thank you.
Aina, I would like to add something regarding what T.S. Sharul Nizam said on the minimum requirement. Actually, we are trying to pull in more highly achieving academic people, and also we want to bring in the brains into the TVET to follow the TVET system. So
unfortunately, most of our public institutions do require the SPM minimum and so on. But there are actually a lot of international students, IGCSE, Cambridge programs and all that, that also should be able to qualify, but it's restricted due to the requirements that are set, that minimum SPM.
It has to be SPM.
Yeah.
So, colleagues, I just really want to flag on time. It's already 5:02. So maybe I'm so sorry. We will have a sharing session after this. So kita boleh tambah lagi. And then ideally we do a presentation. So I nak just ask for us to start the next session if possible with Amelia, with Moon, Amina.
Hello. Okay, so I know everything is going to go past so fast, but we're going to get ideas rolling. And part of our assessment for this project is that we want to see the innovative ideas presented in a way that we can do it fairly, very fair and square. So one of those items that we're asking you to submit is a video. You're going to tell us the story in a video, but the video is only 90 seconds. So let me share my slides, and I'm going to show you a very basic idea of how you tell a story in 90 seconds. Because in 90 seconds, you think, oh, that's not long enough. But have you seen advertisements? They can sell you a product in 30 seconds. It's all about what you tell. So we're going to do a storytelling workshop, and then we're going to go back into the breakout rooms. We're going to discuss ideas on how a story could be presented based on the issues you've just discussed. Okay, so if you've got 90 seconds to tell a story, how do you do it? Well, it's the same as a movie format. You just shrink everything. You put it into 3 acts. In 3 acts, you can show the setup of your story, which will include people, problem, the difficulties, the needs, and the obstacles. And then you show the second act and you highlight all the obstacles that you're facing. Show it in pictures. Show the actual situation. Because just now, when we were doing an ideathon, we're communicating, but there are people outside of the situation that don't see it. And then in the third act, show what could be resolved. What are the practical solutions that you could engage in to show how the problem could be fixed? If you had the funding, or if you had the skills and the people and the solution ready. So first of all, think about the people in the situation. What is their objective and their motivation, motivasi? Who are they? And what do they want? Okay, this is the most important thing in storytelling. We want to see the person who is having this problem or somebody representing this person in an action. And what is it that they want? Why do they feel so upset that they don't have this? Then we can empathize, we can feel sorry for them, right? And then we understand their situation. We see it from their perspective. Why do they want it? We must know. So then we look at the problem, masalah. Okay, what is it? What is the problem? Show the conflict. Menunjukkan conflict, yeah? Okay, each is a sequence of a story. So we call that urutan, yeah? A sequence. You show the sequence of a story, and in every sequence, we must be allowed to show this in total 90 seconds. So we've got 3 acts, and the first act is small. It's only half the time of the second act. So we're going to look at how the first act should be showing what all the different things that the first act must show in order for somebody watching the video to understand the setting, understand the person, the character, understand the problem, the masalah, all the difficulties. We want to be able to see their needs and understand the conflict. So who, what, and why. That is your setup of your story. And that has to be in the first act. And we need to introduce the people, their status in genuine status biasa, and the location, the lokasi. And then we need to have the first plot cerita, the problem, masalah. Okay, then the second urutan 2, is what is the kesusahan, what is the problem, the difficulty that they're having. Okay, and then in the next plot cerita, we want to see what they need. What do they need? So let me show you an example, because all of this has to be done within 20 to 25 seconds. After you finish videoing it, you have to edit it, and it can only be 20 to 25 seconds to show all of this. So I'll show you an example. Okay, this is the first sequence. We introduce Jane. Okay, this is Jane. And then Jane is somebody who needs to train in the TVET institution, but she has a problem because she is in a wheelchair. Okay, she's an OKU and she cannot get into the training center. So this is a very difficult issue if you're in a wheelchair. So we showed that this is just a few seconds of time in the video, and we show what she needs. Okay, we show that she needs to have access. That is enough for us to see this issue. And we say, oh, how is Jane going to solve this problem? Well, can it be just Jane's problem, or is it everybody's problem? So then we go into the second act of our story, and we look at the conflict. Let's emphasize the conflict so that we understand why it is so important. So we show the difficulty getting bigger and how it gets worse. And we show all the different attempts to solve the problem. Then we show all the different action people take and why the problem cannot be solved. Until today, that problem is not solved. And we have to show how nothing has actually worked until now. If something has worked slightly, we can show that as well. But if it's not fully working, this is why we're here, right? So we want to be able to understand the situation fully. So let's take that to our example of Jane. There's somebody.
I'll flag you on time. You have about 2 minutes, sorry.
Okay, so we show that this is difficult when somebody has to be there to help Jane all the time. Sometimes they're not available and Jane is stuck. Okay, so then what happens? You try and put some sort of access for Jane, but it's not a permanent access. It doesn't work. And there's a timing for that. Oh no, Jane is not happy. So then we have all these other obstacles that we have to find out why nothing is working. And you've got like, you can put that in 40 seconds. So then we have to show the resolution and how this problem can be resolved with a good result, a hasil yang baik result. Okay, so back to the example, we can plan, we can have ideas that are practical, innovative solutions. If we could manifest this solution, perhaps Jane will be happy and there will be no more problem. And not only Jane, but everybody like her. So now we're going to do another workshop and we're going to go back into our breakout rooms. Do you have a legitimate issue? Does it affect people? What have you done to try and fix it? What more do you need to do? What would the result be like if the issue is resolved, and is your idea innovative and sustainable? So you can do any kind of like video you want, even if you want to use just drawings because you don't have people acting, maybe you just want to show photographs or some stop motion. And here are some examples of some videos that I have made on my YouTube channel, which you'll be able to access when you receive this information at the end. So let's go and see what our ideas are. Okay, into the breakout rooms. Let's go.
Thank you, Moon.
Thank you.
And untuk participants, you can ask your students to help you do the videos. Mungkin dia ada idea yang kreatif dan bernas. So try to make it something you can work on together while we wait to join the breakout rooms.
So if you remember which breakout room that you were in last time, you can go straight to that one. I was in breakout room number 2. Amelia was in breakout room number 1. So you can just follow where Amelia goes into breakout room number 1 again.
Saya share screen. Ya.
Okay. Office di mana? ILO
Guys,
ILO KL ke ILO Geneva?
tak ada. I'm with Speak Up Malaysia dengan Emilia.
Yeah. Oh.
Our office is mostly in Damansara, but we mostly work from home.
Oh, okay.
So if you can see my screen, I rasa time is almost up pun. You are required, based on the presentation earlier, develop a 3-act story structure. So the first one is introduce the people, status, location, and in that you explain what is the problem, and secondly the need to solve the problem. And semua ni ikut apa yang present tadi. So who wants to start with the first act? Introduce the people, the status biasa, lokasi dan plot point. Ada siapa-siapa nak cuba?
Hairul masuk Hairul.
Ya, Tuan.
Ni, Puan Aina tanya ni untuk act number 1 ni.
Okey, untuk act number 1 tu Contoh sorry saya terlepas kat tengah bincang. Okey, yang untuk action number 1 tu untuk yang kami lah, mostly kita yang untuk yang ini kita tengok kepada problem yang inclusivity lah kot, I think. So inclusivity, dan kita akan reactkan kepada accessibility lah, equal accessibility kepada mainstream punya institution tu. Yang tu yang I think yang kita akan rise dalam act number 1. Okay, and then when we talk about act number 2, then kita tengok what is the option available, and then yang what is our proposal lah untuk tambah untuk accessibility and kita punya highlight yang tadi tu. And the third one tu, how we going to spread our project lah. I think macam tu lah kot the idea. Betul kan?
Betul. So kira semua ni, it has to be done in 90 seconds and macam get your message across in a very clear way. Rasanya boleh buat ke tak? Susah ke tak? 90 seconds.
I think should be okay lah kot. Kalau dah ada requirement in 90 second, then we need to work out in 90 second lah. And then I think yang previously yang Puan before this punya presentation tu, I think it may be clear lah yang apa yang dia nak bagi tahu. Dan yang tadi pun dia present yang this 3 act ni pun dalam masa 2 minutes tadi I record time. So which mean kalau kita follow yang how dia present it, should be able to finish it in 90 second.
Betul. And zaman sekarang semua orang dah biasa tengok short videos kan, because of Instagram Reel and TikTok. So should be okay. So siapa nak cuba share your problems and the solution and how you would put it in your 90 seconds video?
Maybe 15 seconds sahaja dekat act 1. And then maybe you want to spend 40 seconds dekat act 2, and then the rest of the time dekat act 3. Jadi when you are planning for it, you first you have to bahagikan your story into act 1, act 2, act 3. Lepas tu decide what shot you want to take. Macam tadi, do you remember the slide yang Maran buat the sequence, the shot and sequence tu kan? So saya cadangkan you buat macam tu. So you plan lah. So this part you nak buat shot apa? Katakanlah nak cerita story pasal Ali tadi. So kenalah ada satu shot muka Ali. And then kena ada satu shot yang tunjukkan Ali ni miskin. Kena ada satu shot ataupun 2 shot. And then kena ada satu shot yang menunjukkan Ali tu mencuri, kena tangkap. Satu lagi shot kena tangkap. Satu lagi shot masuk penjara. Satu lagi shot keluar penjara. And then now kena minta kerja, satu lagi shot.
Or he's far away, but we've got a home. And then what type of shots should we have? Do we want to show like shots of her in action? wide angle? Or do we want to show shots like of?
Boleh lah, maksudnya employer dia tak confident ke muka buat muka apa.
Okay, and looks like he is not confident about her ability, yeah.
Yeah.
I kena gerakkan ni. Okay. So what else do we want to gambarkan?
And then saya ingat dia punya solution tu using the right tools kan. Kalau dia nak angkat tu memang agak susah. Kalau one horsepower mungkin dia boleh angkat lagi. Kalau 2 horsepower dia tak boleh angkat. So dia mungkin gunakan pulley dan sebagainya. Itu yang solution macam tadi kan. Wheelchair tu dia punya solution is dia kena remove that tangga tu and then using lifter kan. So sekarang pun dia mungkin guna dia drill kat dinding and then dia guna pulley untuk tarik aircon tu ke atas. Itu pun okey sebenarnya. So sekarang ni
That's great.
tak guna benda tu kan.
Okay, and then dia bersama kawan dia kan, so kita nak tunjuk wanita. Okay, then shall we employer?
Okay, saya akan soal lah.
Maybe we got 5 minutes, I guess. They just provided some guidance and all that.
Very quickly, saya akan just terangkanlah berdasarkan kepada your discussion sebelum ni kan. Sekejap saya pun tak tahu kenapa dia tak keluar.
So we did this activity already. It's just that now maybe how we bring it all together in the video lah.
Okay, so pertama you need to think about what you want to shoot. Okay, kalau dah ada story, if you already have a story, for example, then you can actually decide kalau nak pakai pelakon, if you want to use actor, actresses. So bila saya cakap actor, actresses, bukan the real actor, actresses lah. Mungkin your student pun boleh buat. Okay, so bergantung kepada your punya story. So what was the story yang kamu discuss? Yang discuss sebelum ni.
Syarul ada contoh story tadi.
Oh, yang I punya story tu contohnya tapi bukannya OKU I punya story tu berkaitan dengan orang masyarakat orang asli yang berada jauh di pedalaman. Kemudian apabila mereka mendapat tawaran masuk ke institut, mereka ada masalah di segi pengangkutan untuk membawa mereka daripada kawasan pedalaman hutan ke institut. Ditambah mungkin keluarga mereka pun bukan berkemampuan, tidak ada kenderaan yang sewajarnya. Jadi macam mana kami mengambil inisiatif sediakan pengangkutan 4-wheel ataupun boat untuk membawa pelajar tersebut ke institut.
So yang pertama kita boleh buat macam katakan apa shot yang kita nak. Kita kena tunjukkan kesusahan kan. So mungkin kamu boleh buat penggambaran di kampung orang asli itu. Katakan kamu boleh tunjuk yang mereka katakan bangun pagi, tapi dah bangun pagi tu macam dia bangun kan. Dia ambil satu shot tu, lepas tu dia nak keluar pergi sekolah, memang tak boleh lah sebab jauh kan. So tapi dia pun terpaksa kan. Dia jalan. So masa dia jalan tu bolehlah ambil shot dia, kaki dia kan. Dia berjalan atas tanah tu kan. Lepas tu dia berpeluh, tunjuk dia berpeluh ya. So boleh ambil satu shot demi satu shot. Ya? Okey, yang itu memang tunjukkan kesusahan. Okey. Lepas tu tiba-tiba tunjuk macam hujan kan. Dia kesusahan dia bertambah. Okey, dia patah balik. Okey. Lepas tu kamu boleh tunjuk solusi dia. Solusi dia apa? Macam katakan dekat you punya office, kamu buat perbincangan. Lepas tu kamu cakap, okay, kita boleh hantar 4-wheel ni pergi. So orang tu pagi-pagi tu pukul 6, dia bangun, dia pun pergi. So kamu tunjuklah benda-benda tu. Dia sampai sana, mungkin kamu boleh tunjuk budak tu dia apa ni, senyum, gembira, excited, dia naik kereta tu kan, lepas tu dia sampai ke institute, yang itu conclusion lah. So kamu tunjuk permasalahan dengan menggunakan short ni, lepas tu kamu tunjuk solusi dia juga. Lepas tu ending dia happy ending, mungkin dia excited belajar tu semua kan. So yang itu akan like menarik. So the thing is, kamu kena buat macam-macam jenis short lah. Actually very simple to do. Kalau masalahnya bila tak ada cerita. Kalau tak ada cerita memang susah nak shoot. Kalau dah ada cerita memang senang. Cuma kena disiplin sikit lah. Kena ambil shot dengan shot. Different shot.
Thank you, Mr. Maran.
Tak apa.
Mr. Maran, basically we should have the storyboard for Act 1, 2, 3 so that it will be very concise video lah.
It's advisable. It's advisable for you to have like a storyboard. Not like really drawings, but just write down. I want to shoot this, I want to shoot this, I want this shot. Then it's easier.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody.
All right. Now I'm going to welcome somebody who's going to be very, very interesting for you because this person is very skilled at editing videos, especially using the free tools available online. He is a director, he's a producer, and he's a documentary maker. His name is Maran Parianan, and he's from the Far East Documentary Center. Welcome. Mr. Maran, where are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hai, apa khabar?
So we are back here. We couldn't finish in group 3, but basically the accessibility to the workshop and so on.
Thank you so much, Puan Mina, for sharing.
Welcome.
Okay, so Mr. Maran is going to show you how to work with a phone and make a video.
Okay, selamat petang. Okay, so dalam sesi ini kita akan bincang macam mana, suara saya jelas ya? So,
jelas.
Okay. So kita akan bincang macam mana nak gunakan smartphone untuk membuat video. Right? So, apa yang kita perlu adalah dua benda. Satu ialah tools, iaitu perkakasan peralatan yang kamu boleh gunakan untuk membuat video tu. Kedua, kamu perlukan skill. Ya, skill untuk membuat video tersebut, pengetahuan. Ya. So apa yang kamu perlukan dalam apa orang cakap membuat video ni? Kamu perlukan smartphone. Ya, smartphone mana-mana lah. Sekarang dah lama orang tak pakai smartphone lama. Selalu orang tukar-tukar kan, tukar phone baru. Yang kedua adalah aplikasi. So bila kamu pakai, kalau pergi Google Play ke iTunes ke, kamu boleh download aplikasi yang boleh digunakan untuk mencantum, motong, nak masuk muzik, nak masuk gambar, yang itu semua boleh masukkan di dalam aplikasi. Right? So, apa yang kamu perlukan? Apakah spesifikasi smartphone yang kamu perlu? Minimum 1 megapiksel. Sekarang dekat pasaran memang dah tak jumpa lah 1 megapiksel. Mungkin 5 tahun, 6 tahun dulu. Tapi kalau ada yang masih belum tukar phone, pakai phone lama, masih boleh pakai lah. Sekurang-kurang 1 megapiksel dengan memori dia 6 GB. Ya, sebab kadang kalau kita shoot video HD ni, saiz dia besar. Kalau besar sangat, tak boleh pakai dalam update, tak boleh edit. Right? Lepas tu, lagi satu ialah spesifikasi dia, screen dia. Sekurang-kurangnya 4 inch. Ya? Kenapa 4 inch? Sebab kan benda tu dah kecil. Kalau nak edit macam mana, kan? So, kita kena ada screen yang besar sedikit dan boleh kamu edit. Yang lagi satu, paling penting ialah masa tengah shoot, tengah buat penggambaran, tiba-tiba phone kamu hang. So untuk mengelakkan benda tu berlaku, so kamu boleh apa cakap delete ataupun backup apa-apa file yang lama-lama dalam phone kamu tu, kamu boleh delete. Lagi satu ialah untuk jangan lupa lock lens kat belakang tu. Kadang masuk dalam poket, letak atas baju, letak atas meja, kadang-kadang dia lens dia kotor. So bila kamu buat penggambaran, bila footage dia tu keluar, dia footage tu tak nampak cantik lah. Okey, kita akan gunakan aplikasi yang dipanggil sebagai InShot. Yang ni kamu boleh download daripada Android atau untuk Android dari Google Play, ataupun untuk iPhone, kalau kamu pakai iPhone, kamu boleh download daripada iTunes, right? So dalam aplikasi ni kamu boleh potong, cantum, so banyak-banyaklah benda yang kamu boleh buat dalam bila kamu gunakan aplikasi ni, right? Okey, apa skill yang kamu akan perlukan untuk membuat penggambaran dengan menggunakan handphone kamu, right? Yang pertama ialah untuk menambah baikkan kapasiti kamu untuk membuat penggambaran. Kedua, penceritaan. Kamu kena tahu apa yang kamu perlukan, apakah footage yang kamu perlu untuk kamu akan gambarkan, dan bawa gambar tu, lepas tu kamu akan edit, right? So ini adalah 3 tahap yang kamu perlu tahu dan faham, right? Okay, perkara pertama, rule pertama, bila kamu nak shoot, pastikan phone tu dipegang macam ni, bukan macam ni. Kalau nak buat untuk TikTok, bolehlah pakai macam ni, tapi kalau nak buat video untuk YouTube ke Facebook ke, pastikan phone dipegang macam begini, right? Horizontal, sebab kalau kamu buat secara vertikal, kalau kamu nampak gambar kat bawah tu, gambar dia akan jadi vertikal. Okay, rule kedua, pastikan penggambaran dijalankan di tempat yang mempunyai pencahayaan yang baik. Kalau macam sekarang ni, saya nampak handsome sikit sebab saya duduk tepat dekat tepi tingkap. So banyak cahaya yang masuk. So cari tempat yang ada cahaya. Yang paling penting ialah jangan lawan cahaya. So bila kamu nak buat penggambaran, letakkan subjek kamu di belakang cahaya ataupun posisi dia macam ni. Kalau sumber cahayanya di sebelah kiri, letakkan kamera di tengah-tengah cahaya dan subjek kamu. Kalau benda ni terbalik, so objek tu akan menjadi macam ni. Kalau kamu tengok yang gambar yang nombor 3 ni, subjek tu akan menjadi gelap. So tidak boleh dielakkan. So pastikan struktur pencahayaan kamu adalah betul. Yang ketiga, bila kamu pegang handphone tu, pastikan handphone tu dipegang dengan 2 tangan, sebab kadang-kadang kita pun tak perasan tangan kita ni kuat bergetar. Lagilah kalau tak makan kan, lagi bergetar. Okay? So pastikan handphone tu dipegang, jangan terlalu dekat ataupun jangan terlalu jauh. Lebih kurang dalam jangan jauh, jangan dekat sangatlah, right? Dan pegang dengan 2 tangan. Jangan pegang macam ni, sebab bila kamu pegang macam ni, dia kadang-kadang phone tu sengit. So pastikan phone tu dipegang dengan 2 tangan. Rule keempat, jangan zoom. Bila kamu zoom pakai handphone, kamu kena bila footage tu keluar, dia akan pixelated. Dia foto tu ataupun gambar tu tak jelas. So apa solusi dia bila kamu nak ambil sesuatu objek tu dengan dekat? So kamu kena jalan lebih dekat. Bergerak dekat dengan subjek, lepas tu kamu ambil. Kalau nak ambil shot different. Okay? Yang rule kelima, pastikan subjek kamu sentiasa di dalam fokus. Kadang kita tak check, kita sibuk cakap dengan subjek atau siapa-siapa yang kita pelakon ke siapa-siapa kan, kita lupa nak check fokus. Tiba-tiba yang fokus belakang dia. Tapi muka dia tu, muka pelakon tu, dia jadi blur. Ya. So untuk mengelakkan daripada benda ni terjadi, dalam phone kamu bila dalam mode video hanya perlu tekan kepada apa subjek yang kamu fokus. Bila kamu tekan ataupun just tekan di screen, automatic chip yang dalam kamera tu akan fokus kepada siapa ataupun pelakon ataupun objek yang kamu tengah fokus. Right? Okay. Ini sebelum kamu buat penggambaran, ini adalah beberapa perkara yang kamu perlu fikirkan. Bagaimana, okay, sebelum tu kamu kena fikir sebelum tekan button record. Yeah. So apa yang kamu perlu fikirkan adalah adakah footage ni boleh memberi ataupun menceritakan penceritaan saya. Alright? Yang itu paling penting. Kalau kamu pergi keluar satu hari tu, kamu ambil footage tapi bila dah nak edit, tiba-tiba kamu rasa benda ni tak boleh pakai. Yeah? So rugi, merugikan masa dan merugikan tenaga. So langkah yang terbaik adalah untuk memastikan kamu ada satu cara yang untuk what you call, untuk melakukan perkara ni dengan teratur, right? Dan jangan ambil footage tu lama-lama, right? Okay. Yang seterusnya ialah jenis-jenis shot. Apa yang kamu perlu lakukan ialah mengambil shot dengan berbagai-bagai jenis. Ya, kalau macam kamu lihat di sini, terdapat wide shot, medium shot, close up, extreme close up, mempelbagaikan jenis-jenis shot supaya perkara itu lebih menarik bila ditayangkan kepada penonton kamu. Ya, okey. Now, dalam masa penceritaan tadi, Moon ada ceritakan tentang sequence. So macam mana kamu nak buat sequence? Okay, bila kamu gabungkan beberapa shot, ia akan menjadi sequence. Sequence tersebut akan menceritakan apa-apa cerita yang kamu ada. Right? So kamu katakan kamu ajukan kamera kamu kepada sesuatu subjek tu, kamu tekan record, lepas tu stop, itu adalah satu shot. Ya? Dan bila kamu ulang perkara tersebut dengan kepelbagaian shot, kamu akan mendapat berbagai-bagai jenis shot. Bila kamu gabungkan benda-benda tersebut, shot-shot tersebut, kamu boleh melakukan satu sequence untuk memberi ataupun menayangkan cerita kamu. Right? Now, sebagai contohnya, bagaimana kamu akan membuat penceritaan ataupun melakukan penggambaran mengenai cerita Jane tadi. Ya? Okey, sebagai contohnya, yang ini dalam jangka masa 20 saat, kamu perlu ceritakan dengan visual yang Jane ni adalah seorang yang kurang upaya, menggunakan kerusi roda dan beliau mempunyai masalah bila terjumpa tangga. So, kamu kena tunjuk pelbagai shot dengan menggunakan variasi, ya, variasi penggambaran. Ya. So, kamu kena tunjuk contohnya kerusi roda tersebut. Kenapa? Sebab baru orang boleh tahu. Ya. Kadang orang pernah lihat, tapi bila kamu tunjuk dengan detail, mereka boleh memahami dengan lebih baik. Right? Dan katakan kamu nak tunjuk muka dia terkejut. So kamu kena ambil close up. Kamu kena ambil shot close up dia. Right? Dan bila kamu nak tunjuk halangan, kamu kena tunjuk apa halangan yang yang menanti ataupun menghalang beliau untuk bergerak. Right? So shot-shot begini perlu diambil untuk membuat sequence yang boleh membuat penceritaan yang lebih baik. Right? Okay. Bila untuk buat editing, right? Di dalam editing, apa yang kamu akan lakukan adalah membawa apa-apa footage yang kamu dah shot ataupun dah gambarkan ke dalam aplikasi, dan di dalam aplikasi tersebut kamu akan mencantumkan shot-shot tersebut untuk menceritakan idea yang kamu ada. Right? Now, kamu boleh gunakan teks, kamu boleh merakam suara kamu sebagai suara latar, ataupun kamu boleh menggunakan dialog, iaitu semasa kamu buat penggambaran, pelakon tu bercakap, itu akan menjadi dialog. Yeah? So, yang ini semua kamu boleh bawa masuk dalam aplikasi tersebut untuk proses edit. So, bila kamu edit dengan menggunakan InShot, right? Ini adalah aplikasi InShot, amat mudah digunakan. Right? Bila kamu buka aplikasi tersebut, memang dah ada tutorial di mana kamu boleh memilih footage yang kamu mahu. Kamu boleh melihat apa-apa footage yang kamu dah masukkan ke dalam aplikasi tersebut, dan kamu boleh rearrange ataupun menyusun semula apa-apa footage yang kamu yang dah bawa masuk. Kadang-kadang dia tak masuk akal kan susunan dia. So kamu boleh susun semula. Right? Lepas tu kamu boleh potong ataupun kurangkan durasi ataupun memendekkan lagi footage. Katakan dia terlalu lama. Right? Daripada 10 saat, kamu boleh potong dia jadi 5 saat. Lepas tu kamu boleh masukkan title ataupun perkataan di dalam video tersebut. Kalau katakan kamu nak letak, okay, ini adalah Jane, katakan. So yang itu, katakan kamu tak nak pakai suara. So boleh pakai teks. Right? Lepas tu kamu boleh letak transition. Transition tu untuk memudahkan penglihatan. Bila orang tu penonton kamu tu menonton video kamu, dia akan boleh melihat dengan lebih menarik lah, kata orang. Right? Lepas tu kamu boleh masukkan music untuk menjadikan video kamu tu lebih menarik. Yeah? So ini adalah apa yang kamu perlukan. Masa terlalu singkat, so saya kena rush through. Right? So saya akan untuk memberi satu gambaran bagaimana kamu boleh buat sesuatu video tu. So saya akan tunjuk satu sampel. So sampel ni hanya sebagai panduan. Kalau kamu boleh, kamu boleh buat lebih secara lebih baik. Ya. Ini share video. Boleh dengar muzik tak? Muzik ni ada tak?
Yes.
No music kan?
Got.
Okay, itu satu panduan lah ya. Sebenarnya kalau kamu buat perancangan, kamu boleh lakukan video yang lebih baik lah. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan, lagi satu saya nak cakap, jangan bimbang ataupun jangan rasa apa orang cakap macam nervous dengan peralatan. Oh, phone saya kecil. Kadang-kadang bukan peralatan yang menjadikan sesuatu video tu lebih baik. Ia adalah orang yang membuat video tersebut. Yeah. So memang boleh lah. I mean, it's very simple actually. Kalau kamu gunakan panduan yang diberikan tadi. Okay. Kalau ada soalan boleh tujukan kepada saya.
Hello, Mr. Maran. Syarul from IP Mersing. At the end of the video, what recommended format you suggest? Your suggestion?
Kita boleh pakai, kalau nak digunakan di YouTube, kita boleh gunakan format MP4, .mp4. Kalau macam untuk aplikasi InShot, bila dia buat compilation, the final video will be on .mp4. Tapi kalau kamu pakai iTunes ataupun iPhone, kamu punya final video tu will be .mov pun boleh pakai. So as long as kalau dua-dua format ni kamu boleh upload ke YouTube dan boleh dimainkan di mana-mana laptop lah. Sebab kalau kamu pakai aplikasi ni memang kamu terikat di antara dua format ni. Dan dua format ni memang paling diguna pakai lah. Sesiapa pun yang pakai buat video pakai full.
Maran, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have to move on to the exercise, and we are over time. So minta maaf, saya just cut this short. Can we move on to the breakout room to do the activity?
Sure, we'll do the breakout rooms right now. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
So we are back. I'm sorry, maybe I just make a slight change to the agenda that we just go over the process before we do the sharing, or if we have time, we can do the sharing now, but like only 5 minutes. So 5 to 6 minutes, is it okay?
Maybe you do the process first.
Okay, I'll do the process first. So untuk participant hari ni kita dah banyak explain pasal apa yang kita kena laksanakan, tapi I just explain to you a little bit more about process dia lah untuk aplikasi. Tadi saya dah bagi explanation the process tapi step by step. Okay, so ni round 1 semua dah tahulah kena ada submit application form, ada video, tapi tambahan lagi kita akan kita minta bagi CV. CV tu untuk the teams yang akan laksanakan this program lah, sebab kita nak tahu kebolehupayaan semua orang. So the step 1, we ask you to apply, and then here kita cakap public not profit TVET skills institutions boleh apply. Kita minta 90-second video, team CV, and then the technical proposal. So technical proposal ni kita ada format dia, dan kita akan bagi link untuk aplikasi akan live next week lah. Okay, so then the next step bila kita dah apply, the next slide please Jasmine. Okay, then kalau participant yang berjaya, kita akan cut down from to 10 applicants. Mereka akan buat satu final live pitch. Pitch tu macam kalau I don't know if you have seen Shark Tank, you know, you put ni idea saya and then ada evaluation committee, kita buat macam that style lah. Yeah, you present ni idea saya and then this is what you want to do, and then there's a Q&A session. So that will be for the top 10 finalists. And then and then after that, next step, Jasmine. Okay, so once kita dah ada tu, kita akan publicize lah pemenang-pemenang untuk solution ni, and kita akan bekerjasama untuk implement the solution. So there is an agreed time frame. Tentatively, we plan on in October sehinggalah February. Yeah? Sorry, January. So ini aplikasi proses, yang ni semua akan ada dalam FAQ, so saya tak akan go over this again sebab ramai dah aware. Okay. So I think that covers it. Sini saya just nak explain sedikit tentang your application. Nanti mungkin kita akan ada satu sesi informasi untuk how to apply in the form. Okay, sebab dalam application form we will ask you for additional information tentang like I just show you lah. It will be a form, tapi I just share some of the things we will ask. Contohnya, okay, I just go over it very quickly lah. Kita akan tanya, okay, basic information lah pasal the team, apa experience antara the team in there. If you have any experience dalam gender equality social inclusion, that is good. We would want to know some background about your proposal. What is the solution? What is the problem you want to solve? Tadi kita dah belajar how to put the problem. What are the solutions you want to provide? And then what is the output? So dia memang kena something tangible lah. So sama ada you nak buat program atau you nak develop lesson plan, something very orang kata boleh pegang lah, right? And then we ask where it will be piloted, lokasi. And then we will ask things about innovation. How is your solution new and innovative? So ini tak bermaksud dia kena solution yang dah baru, sebab actually if you have done a similar solution, you can explain how you are doing it better, how you are expanding upon it, and how it will add value. So that's what we are looking for. And then we need to know who is going to benefit from your solution. So dalam ILO kita project ni specifically kita melihat kepada wanita. It can be youth also, youth 16 hingga 25 tahun, PWD atau orang kelainan upaya, And then we also allow B40. Kalau dalam youth tu kita ada macam not in employment, education or training, orang kata lost boys. So this is the groups that we are looking for lah. Tapi kalau you have a specific group you are dealing with, it is okay, we welcome it. Try and kalau let's say you work with youth yang former penjenayah or something like that, some people work with former banduan kan, that is also okay, or wanita yang banduan, that could be different groups lah, women, youth, B40 sekali. Yeah, so you can explain how the solution benefits them, how many you nak membantu dengan solution ni. So we really want to see the impact, what is the long-term impact, supaya kita tahulah benda ni sustainable. We also want, if possible, you put in who are your partners. So kalau you bekerjasama dengan KBS, contohnya tadi Encik Saiful highlighted kan, you can highlight, atau you kerja dengan NGO ke, industri ke, you put in there who is the one you're working with. And here you boleh describe where you are in implementation. So kalau you dah laksanakan, you just describe, okay, we have implemented it, but now we are working towards enhancing it. And then how you want to sustain the results. And then how it can add value to our ILO priorities on JESI mainstreaming. Yang ni, it's you can check our guide for skills for inclusion, UN Sustainability Development Goals. I think kita ada link semua tu, jangan risau. And then how you want to work with the ILO, apa yang nak pelajari daripada kami lah. So just nak cakap yang kita akan ada sesi yang lebih mendalam tentang how to apply. It will also include other proposal documents sebab kita nak tengok budget, kita nak tengok your punya work plan. So I nak cakap kat sini, for your proposals, if you have co-financing, that is actually something we welcome, sebab co-financing tu could be tak semestinya wang, tapi contohnya you have in-kind support daripada organisasi lain, that is also an example of co-financing. Kalau ada bantuan kewangan daripada program lain pun bagus. So I just stop here so that we can move on to the sharing session. I think we had one question before I go. There was one question, if one TVET institution can send multiple proposals, right? If I'm not mistaken, Miss Mina asked. So just to see, kalau satu TVET institusi ada, yes, Miss Mina, that was the question, right? One TVET.
Yes, correct. Is it limited to one?
Okay, so if let's say that means different departments giving different proposal, right? For example,
Maybe they were asking whether one institution limited to one entry or one institution can submit 4 or 5 entries for different solutions and projects.
Yeah, we can. Boleh, you can submit more than one. Cuma I want to say that one institution will only get one award. So yeah, so you can kalau you want to have 5, let's say, we will, and then they're good, but we will only award for one solution lah, for one institution. Yeah. So you can give multiple entries. Cuma it is, the award will only be given to one institution for their one solution. Yeah. I hope it's clear.
Clear.
All right, great. So I think we have. Maybe we have a 5-minute sharing session. If I can ask, then we do with the presentations. Is that okay, Amelia?
Actually, Shaza, I was wondering if we can just go to the Q&A, because I think that's more important. We can just keep the sharing, I think. I mean, if you don't mind.
Sure. Any other Q&A then?
Hi, Cik Shaza, Cairo from IKBN Kuala Lumpur. So I just want to confirm back to you. So in order for us to entry this competition, so kita nak kena hantar satu 90 minutes punya video, another one 90 seconds. Sorry. 90 second punya video, and then another one is proposal tu in the form yang dalam bentuk form tadi, right?
It will be on the, you know, the RSVP form. We will have that. Lepas tu nanti you kena download the some of the Word document, and then dalam tu sekali kita akan minta you buat Gantt chart, you know, like a work plan.
Okay. So kita just follow yang format yang kita download minggu depan, right?
Yes. And then
so dua benda tu saja ya?
And then ada budget sekali lah. So you masukkan budget. Yeah, kalau application tu dalam bahasa Inggeris is better. But if anyone is struggling, just let us know lah. I think we try to accommodate, but if possible in English, because the evaluator includes people from ILO, and then they are from different countries. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just now you mentioned team CV, so they need to submit that together lah.
Yes. So we will have an upload function. So you boleh put in the CV. Just put in the team yang akan laksanakan the project. And we want to see in the team the strength of the team to implement the solution.
Ada limit untuk team members ke? Ada berapa ramai?
Tak ada limit, but the most important thing is you pilih team member yang ada experience, yang relevant untuk menjayakan solution ini.
Shaza, there was a question in my group just now that I didn't get to answer. Can you explain a little bit scalability and replicability? What are those and what's the difference? That was the question.
Okay, so kalau replicate tu is like copy paste lah. So I do one thing, let's say I fix the examination format, then it can be replicated. TVET institution A boleh copy paste. Kalau nak scale, it's about expansion lah. So kalau let's say you have a good program like counseling program contohnya for transitions to work, and then you want to scale it to different institutions like Emilia, you gave the example macam Giat Mara. You start with 1 Giat Mara institution, lepas tu you go for 10 Giat Mara, 15, 20. That is the idea behind scaling the results. Ada any other persoalan or questions? So if there's no more questions, I just want to say that you can still ask questions. So let's say ada orang segan untuk tanya soalan melalui workshop, no worries, ada email. Jasmine, maybe I ask you to send, to put the email contacts in the chat box. So you boleh email kami kalau sekiranya anda ada apa-apa soalan yang lanjut, don't worry. And then kita boleh answer it lah, so no worries. I think now without further ado, we just go, it's already 6:09. Thank you so much to all the participants who are staying. We have the closing remarks and next steps from Dr. Junichi Mori. Over to you, Junichi.
Okay, so thank you very much, Shaza, and then all GIG team. So it's amazing that in a Friday evening, 6 p.m., I can still see like more than 60 people are there. So thank you very much for staying with us. So it was very interesting to listen some discussion. My Bahasa is not so good, so I couldn't catch all. Saya boleh cakap bahasa seki-seki. So, but very interesting question about how to tackle unconscious bias. Also, like how to change the industry's mindset. That's very important. So, yeah. So I hope you can translate what you said today to the innovative action. Then that's gonna be great. By the way, I hope word innovative will not scare you. Innovative can be incremental, like a small change is also okay, or a path-breaking change is also okay. So don't be please scared about the word innovation. So like a small new thing is very good and we value it. So finally, I think you still have many questions. So I would suggest we have another like a small consultation meeting and then we can respond to your question. So finally, thank you very much for participating in today's event. And then we'll be looking forward to receiving your proposal. And then thank you very much for organizing today's event, Go International team, and then my colleague Shaza, Nizam, and then others. Terima kasih banyak. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Over to you, Nizam. So over to you, Shaza.
Thank you, Junichi. So thank you very much to colleagues from the Ministry of Human Resources, as well as the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Have a restful weekend. Selamat malam, and I hope idea-idea yang bernas yang telah saya pun kena rest. Yang dijanakan kita boleh discuss lagi lah dan refine. So on behalf of ILO, our co-organizers, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd like to say to everyone, thank you very much to Shaza, Nizam, and Dr. Junichi and all of the ILO team. From all of us at Go International, Mo1 Drama, and also Speak Up Malaysia and Far East Documentary Center. We're here if you have any questions. So feel free to email us at any time. We will answer. And also this video has been live streamed on a private link. We will share the link with you after we have some time to have a look at it, and all the documents will be shared with you lah. So good luck everyone. It's a wonderful opportunity. Up to 20,000 USD per TVET. So I think that's amazing. Thanks to the British High Commission of Kuala Lumpur for being the donor for this program, the Skills for Prosperity in Malaysia. From here, we say good night to you and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Terima kasih.